Alright, so let's go ahead and get this started here. This is my first officially scheduled stream, see if anybody actually shows up. Tonight we'll be playing Final Fantasy XIV. I'm making a new character from scratch. It's one of my favorite MMOs out there. There's only a few of them that I do enjoy. This is one of them. For their own reasons. Alright, so higher is the humans, elves, chibis, then we have the cat people, giants. That were all really cool. The era can only be women, Aratha can only be males. Now I think I may go Ara again. I do like the look of Ara. Now let's switch it up. Let's do Rokuden. Go ahead and confirm. They look very similar, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't mainly skin color. Not gonna be too specific, there's a lot of things you can change with the character creation over here. But I just want to go and get into this here. Save the appearance data. Okay, saved. Now we can pick our birth date. These are January, February, March, April, all the way down. Don't really care. Doesn't really matter. This is all just flavor. Again, doesn't really matter. Fall. Why not? Alright, so this is the first major choice we have here, is picking our race or our class. I'm going to go ahead and go with Gladiator, because I know them pretty well. I've played all of them before, but I do enjoy Gladiator very much, which makes this so that yeah. Now we can pick our name. Of course, we're going to go with Balcazar. Let's see if they actually let us put the apostrophe in there. Now, do we have to have a surname? Yes. I wonder. I wonder what we should go with. I'm a big fan of going with anything relating to the elements. So let's do Earthbreaker. Oh, is it too long? Wow, there's only so much you can do. Earthbiter? I guess. You can always randomize it too, but kind of like that one though. We're getting the new game with this character. Let's see if it begins right off the bat. The world is currently full. One of the fun things about playing on an MMO is sometimes the realm that you're trying to get into is already full of thousands of players. So you have to wait your turn. A little bit of history on this game. This game originally came out in 2010, and it was only available for a couple of years, but because it was receiving a lot of negative feedback, they essentially shut down the game. And the way they did that was essentially dropping a massive meteor on everything. Then a year or two later, they rebuilt the game, brought it back out. They called it Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. And now this is the game we are currently playing. This game does a lot of things well, MMO-wise. Ooh, story time. It's really quiet. Turn that up a little bit. So you can hear the music. Very classic Final Fantasy music here. It's in every game.
Here, feel.
Starting off at endgame gear. Yeah, right. Loading, loading, loading. And I'll be the voice of the people, not actually speaking. There is some voice acting in this. Hey, hey you. It was just a dream. The grizzled passenger. You alright, lad? You were moaning something fierce for a while there. Now this game does have some swearing in it, just FYI. I usually don't swear in my streams or my recordings, but I will read them aloud. Feeling the effects of the Aether, I reckon. You'll get used to it though, don't worry. Now by design, these games are designed to take a while. They want people to keep paying their monthly. The brass blade captain. You there, halt! What's this all about? Wish I could do voices. I'm not a good impressionist. Inspection. Men, search the carriage. I'm just an honest peddler, friend, so don't be too disappointed if you don't find nothing, eh? What a jerk. Mind your tongue, old man, lest I cut it out. Oh, trying to plant something. Sir, look. Somnus. I guess that's kind of drug. Honest peddler, was it? Since when did honest peddlers deal in prohibited herbs? You're in a lot of trouble, old man. You'll rot in a dungeon till the end of the days. End of your days, excuse me. Unless you can afford the fine. Business as usual. Ooh-ah. Oh, some of these could go by themselves. Amalja, Amalja, to arms, to arms. Very, very excited. There they are. 7 hells. Consider this a warning. Now go, all of you. Or get wrecked. And as far as I recall, that's the extent of how violent the game is. Phew, that kind of excitement ain't good for the heart. You be careful around them brass blades, lad. Bastards will have the shirt off your back if they fancy it. Like common bandits there, only less honest. Thank the gods for sending some beastmen to the rescue, eh? Hey, seeing as we've still got a long ride ahead, you might keep me company till we arrive? Them young'uns don't much care for conversation, see? Rent's the name, and peddling's me trade. And judging by your usual garments, I'll wager you're one of the new adventurers. Heck yeah. I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? Let's be stoic. ... Well, if you ain't inclined to tell, I ain't about to pry. Might be his old Brent's a chatterbox, but he sure as hell ain't no busybody. We all have a secret or three, don't we? Me? Dozens. And I'd rather they stayed secret too, which is why I don't go sticking me nose where it ain't welcome. Just remember though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. By the by, excuse me. Is this your first trip to Ul'dah? Yes. Well then, oh sorry, it is, well then. Let this journey itinerary tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Oh, there's like a little tutorial section just telling me about the location. Ul'dah is ruled by the Sultana in name, but as most folk know, the Syndicate holds all the real power. It actually does get kind of Game of Thronesian sometimes in the story. Them and their monstrous cronies would happily get rid of her grace altogether, but that won't happen while she still commands the loyalty of the Royalists. And the Royalists are nothing if not loyal. These factions have long fought over power, throwing the weight of their wealth against each other, and they show no sign of stopping. Whereas the Lizardmen, that's the Amalja, couldn't care less about Ul'dah politics. They have their own interests, see, and they ain't afraid to use force to serve them. They say war is a gift to peddlers. Need breeding profit, and though it shames me to say, I'm inclined to agree. Hang on one second. Ah, at long last, behold Ul'dah, jewel of Thanalan, where folk turn sand into gold. There we go. I do like Ul'dah.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises. A solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance. Her name, Ul'dah. Even with the coming of the seventh umbral era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm.
Oh, there we go. And here's where you part ways, lad. I'm off to the market to deliver me wares, then it's on to the high road for me. Here, way to have this. My way of thanks for putting up with me, Prattle. Here's 10 million gil. You never did tell me your name, though. Hey, but here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider a square. No doubt about that.
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
Alright, we ready? Can I actually start playing now? Now, seeing as I've played this game a couple times before, or at least got to a certain point, I am going to ignore a lot of like the side missions, because I don't really want to unlock too much stuff yet. I'll just focus on the story for now. And a lot of it's going to be pretty basic stuff. MMO fare. It is going to be... well, in MMOs, there are only so many types of things you can do. Kill a certain dude. Kill a certain number of these dudes. Find somebody. Deliver something. Find something. There's only so many things you can do. They all have different reasons behind it, but... Boy, adventurer, over here. Cool glasses, bro. Hey, I mean you. Fresh off the carriage by any chance? Eh? How can I tell, eh? Oh, heh. I can read, totally. Name's Wymond, and my business is known every bugger else's. Now then, what if I was to offer you some invaluable advice by the way of welcome to our fair city? Free of charge even, just this once I like. I'm gonna keep adding things. He didn't say that, he said like. Dun dun. Alright, welcome to Ul'dah, the shining beacon of prosperity rising from the deserts of Thanalan. Please select control scheme, mouse keyboard. Yes, I know how to do it. Don't worry about all this stuff. Get out of here. No. Alright, it's going to take me a second to set things up. My hotbars where I want them. I want to leave that alone for now. Okay. Which one was it? Okay, no settings, no. Alright, and that's still saved. There we go. I want on 7 and 8. Yeah, I want as many hotbars. I think that's fine for now. I'll fix things later if I want. I don't need this. This I'm gonna move over here. Things on these, but in this area, I have specifically for combat alone. I only have one combat ability. All right. Oh, I guess I gotta start with this guy. He doesn't even have any. I know how to initiate quests. Talk to him. Once you've initiated a quest, hit accept. You have 400 experience and 103 gil. To be recognized as an adventurer in the city-state of Ul'dah, you must register yourself with the Adventurers Guild. Tis plain to anyone with eyes that you don't know your way around here. If I let you go wandering off down the nearest dark alley, you're certain to get mugged or worse. And I don't want that on my conscience. So before you do anything else, you'll want to head over to the Quicksand and speak with Momodi. She's the master of the Adventurers Guild and can set you on the right path. Just take those steps over yonder and pass through the double doors. You'll find her inside. And that's as much as you're getting for free. Good luck with adventuring, adventurer. Okay. Quest accepted. You have begun the quest. I know how to use the duty list. It's over there on the left. Oh, I might want to change where that's located in my HUD. Boop. So it's not. Put this over here. So I don't have to deal with that for much longer, but. Okay. Alright. Now a lot of this is tutorial stuff, just teaching you how to really play in the game and navigate. But this one kind of takes a little bit to get into the combat. Complete the quest with a check mark means that it is ready to complete. Slow walk. Why not? Why, hello there, and who might you be? If you're looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you've come to the right place. Name's Momodi, and I own this fine establishment if it please you. I also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Ul'dah, so you might say that I look after green adventurers like yourself. Well, that looking after green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you that it is. Without someone like me to steer you right, You soon find yourself in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. Like our conflict with the Amalja, for example. They've been plaguing the Sultanate for nigh on, forever now. That has been quite a while, I guess. And then there's the Garlean Empire. No one can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are. Aye, the people drink and make merry, but underneath it all, there's worry and a lingering feeling of loss. And little wonder, it's scarce been 5 years since the lesser moon cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm into an 8th hell. That's that meteor I was talking about earlier. It had a creature in it. That's how they wove it into the story. So much was lost in the blink of an eye. It was like the end of the world had come at last. But then things begin to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happened next, some of them 2 or 3. You'd think people would remember something like that, but the fact is they don't. Nobody does. There's one thing the survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who laid down their lives for a realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. Deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. And it's just a shame our recollections of those brave heroes are as jumbled as those of the calamity itself. Whenever we try to call their faces to mind, it's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, permanently silhouetted. I'll bet that sounds poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating. But even if we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten, so we call them the Warriors of Light. And they'll forever stand as a shining example of what adventurers can achieve. That's why I welcome new arrivals like yourself to our fair city. All I ask is that you lend a helping hand and try to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her. If you can promise that, I'd be happy to let you join the guild. I don't get a choice in the matter. What if I say no? Alright then, a promise is a promise now. I'm counting on your help to put the past behind us. We need people working and spending and bickering like the old days. And a happy and prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand too. Any road, let's make this official. Go ahead and write your name on the register, neat as you can. Oh man. Is there Earthbiter? Well, that ain't that a charming name. Just rolls off the tongue, it does. Insert name here. Alright, Mr. Earthbiter, on behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially... Please be merciful. Please, sir, be merciful. 12 is my witness, I swear to you, I'll bring you your money. In the East, it is said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance if thrice blasphemed. Be grateful you were given a 4th chance to offend. You too, attend to this scum. Oh, please, mercy. Well, ain't that a sorry sight? Nor an uncommon one, if I'm honest. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, I doubt you'll end up like him. Just the same, if you ever need a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bothering me every time you stub your bloody toe, alright? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes with the womenfolk from time to time. Any road, welcome to Ul'dah, Malchezair. Alright. Take a moment to catch your breath, and I'll teach you a little bit about our fair city. I just want to get to beating stuff up. I know it takes a while. Complete. This concludes the introductory game tutorial. You have taken the first step in his adventure in the city of Ul'dah. Listen well to the wisdom of Modi, then go forth and discover incredible adventures that await you. Level up! I got a new ability. Put there, and lock. So these are the ones I want to find from these are the story, the main scenario quests. And these use it to indicate a list of tasks to unlock new stuff, which I may do some of those. Those are mainly for, I don't see any yet. Unlocking new jobs, because you gotta have access to all of them. I only have access to the Gladiator. You can literally get everything up to max level. You can switch between them as long as you're not in combat. So, alright. Let us begin. Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand, wants you to perform 3 tasks that will help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. Are they all killing? Before you go charging off to find your fortune, I have a few basic tasks I'd like you to perform so as to help you get to know the place. First of all, I want you to visit the Aetheryte Plaza. To get there, head west from here until you reach Emerald Avenue. Look to the north. You should see a giant floating crystal called an Aetheryte. If it weren't for Aetherites, traveling around Eorzea, which that's the name of the continent, I believe, would be a damn sight more troublesome than it is. Of course, you still need to attune with them before you can use them, so be sure to do that with the one Plaza. Have you ever attuned with an Aetheryte before, Malchazar? If not, just lay your hand on the thing and you'll see what I mean. When you've done that, I want you to pay a visit to Gladiators Guild over in the Coliseum. That's my guild. Assuming that sword ain't for show, you might consider training there. And finally, I want you to visit the Sapphire Avenue Exchange over on the Steps of Fall. Goods from all across Eorzea and beyond turn up there every day. You'll have no trouble finding armor, weapons, or anything else a fledgling adventurer like yourself might need. You might say that everything's for sale here in Uldam as long as you've got the gil. Just make sure you don't pay more than you ought. There's plenty as won't scruple to swindle unsuspecting foreigners like yourself, especially if they think no one's looking out for their best interests. Which is why I'm giving you this letter. When you visit the exchange, find a gentleman named Cesaroga and give it to him. He'll be happy to tell you about the markets once he's read it. In short, it was Aetheryte, Gladiators Guild, and Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Simple. Before you go, a word of advice: while there's more than a few unsavory characters out there who will try to take advantage of you, there are also some honest-to-goodness problems who you should consider offering a helping hand to. Well, they have to be there with the problems. A lot of folk are lured to the city by the promise of wealth and power. What many of them fail to realize is that instead of chasing after gil the moment they get here, they have to be making friends. Let it be known that you're willing to give as much as you get, and opportunities will come your way. Speaking of which, you should speak with the smith over there. Those lads always have some good advice for up-and-coming adventurers. Otherwise, it's about it for me. It's past time you got going. Oh, and let me know when you finished, will you? That way I won't be spending my days worrying that you're down to your small clothes without a gil to your name. Hello. He's just gonna wave. Nod. Nod. This is the game of nods, by the way. Everyone just nods at each other. Okay. Come on. I have 12 pieces of mail, all from my collector's edition stuff. What's taking so long? Access the main menu. Sanctuaries. There we go. Crescent Moon. You will appear to the right of your experience bar. When you enter a sanctuary, on this special area, you will accrue rested bonus. The bonus will continue to grow when you are offline. All experience earned through battle, crafting, and gathering, while under the benefit of rested bonus, will be increased by 50%. It's kind of a catch-up mechanic for people who can't play all the time. I don't think it's better than nothing, but it doesn't really catch you up to people who do play all the time. Your current rested bonus is displayed on top of the dark orange bar, shows how much more experience can be earned before the bonus fades. I don't have any accrued. Insta, blah blah blah. What's next? Navigation. This I don't need to worry about. Let's just move on. Alright, so this is the smith. I'm one of the smith, a stoker of fires and forger of futures. As a dedicated member of the Adventurers Guild, I've been entrusted with the task of providing assistance to adventurers. I see you have recently taken up Adventurer's Mantle. Possibilities stretch out before you. It must be possibly daunting. We see new adventurers as fledgling heroes. You are champions of tomorrow, our nascent stars of limitless potential. Fellow Smiths and I here provide you with the guidance, but the guild also enlists a cadre of veteran adventurers who will be happy to share with you their accumulated wisdom. You can recognize this help from men and women by their title of mentor. Mentors stand ready, but to advise you, people are having fun around me. They have hundreds of quests under the belts and will likely have a solution for whatever dilemma might be causing you. A mentor may even offer to accompany your adventures. So these are people who played it for quite a while. They can take on the title of mentor if they so choose. I highly recommend you take advantage of a mentor's aid to enrich your experiences. Okay. New adventurer status applied to all players who have recently begun their adventures. Seasoned players are known as mentors. When a new adventurer and mentor form power, they both receive a bonus to experience points earned. On invitation by a mentor, I don't need to worry about that. When do you unlock? I don't want to buy anything. Nothing. Okay, he didn't say anything new. Alright, so let's go ahead and sprint. Pew! Start over here. I need to go grabbing these two. So these little Aethernet shards, there are only a handful of them. A little bit more than a handful in the city. And whenever you access it, whenever you tune to one, it allows you to teleport around the city. So there's one there, there's one over there, there's a whole bunch that you can find. And then when you get all of them in the city, it allows you to get access to the actual gates that exit the city as well. Hey, look at all the people. Yeah, I'm going to ignore all the side quests for now. I'm not going to do any crafting. Try not to switch classes because then I start at level 1 again. You can level each class individually. So even if I get this one to max level, and then I'm like, hey, I want to try out Samurai. So some classes start out at a higher level depending on if they were introduced with in one of the expansions, but usually they start out level 1. So this is the big Aetherite. Hail, adventurer. Might you have come at the behest of Miss Mobility, the Quicksand? Excellent, which brings us to this matter of the attunement fee. That'll be 100,000 gil, if you please, sir. Ah, apologies, but I do so relish the opportunity to make that jest. The look on your face was absolutely priceless. Ah, but the fact that you were so easily deceived suggests to me that you are unfamiliar with the use of Aetherites. Allow me to explain. As for teleporting between cities, this crystalline agglomeration is a tap into the ethereal energies and are primarily used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Perchance you have heard of return and teleport. While these transportation spells make direct use of the Aetherites and their connection to the flow of the ether. Given that there is an Aetherite in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer with a mind to explore the realm will wish to seek out and attune himself to each and every one. Yes, that's a good idea. But even if you have no intention of wandering beyond the Sultan's borders, it would be prudent for you to tune yourself to any Aetherites you encounter from now on. I pray you find that informative. Should you wish to learn more about Aetherites or transportation magic, I should be happy to answer your questions. I can now use a return spell. That can exist now. You would do it once every 15 minutes and then go back to it. Set as home point. Already set as home point. So whenever I use it, it takes me back to my home point. 900 seconds, and it teleports me back to this Aetherite no matter where I am in the game. So I need to go to Gladiators Guild, which this kind of gives me a hint. It's like, oh, go through these stairs and it'll take you there. While I'm on the way though, I'm going to grab this Aetherite shard, or Aethernet shard. Now up here on the top left, that shows you what your next main mission is, and also I have access to my class mission as well. Classes have their own story that they follow. Looks like a side story. Some of them are pretty good. They give you new abilities, new armor, new weapons. So that's just that. Those are the main ones. I'll definitely be focusing on doing those. It's kind of silly to do that. I'll probably be doing the class stuff before I even do the main story because you actually get, like I said, abilities. Yeah, I want to go fight something. Aha, over here. You see it on my mini map up here. The little, it looks like an arrow, kind of, I guess. It means that this is like a multi-step. Yeah, right there. Welcome to Gladiators Guild. Tell me, are you new to the thrills of Mortal Kombat? Mortal Kombat. Whether you are or not, you are new to us. If you'd like to take your place in these hallowed halls, you must be willing and ready to undergo the most rigorous training. You must endure cuts and bruises beyond counting, and like is not far worse. A daunting prospect, I concede, but there is no other way if you mean to take the blood sands one day. Then why wouldn't you? The Colosseum is only the most celebrated place of public entertainment in all of Moldar. Where else could a poor man amass a fortune so vast as to one day allow him to claim the seat on the syndicate? There's not an Uldan alive who wasn't inspired by the rise of self-made man, and there is no one truer in the embodiment of this than the gladiator who wins riches in the fame of his sword. Through its long and storied history, this guild has nurtured countless champions. Our training methods are second to none, and our members ever strive to develop new techniques. If you desire true glory, to fight in triumph, it's the roar of 10,000 voices, and this is where you belong, adventurer. Think of it. Think of your legacy, and if your soul stirs, join us. Yeah, so this is the class quest. Horn experience, and I get food. Nice. Which not only heals me, but it gives me a lot of different things. Which you reaffirm your desire to join the Gladiators Guild. Will you rise above the masses and ascribe your name to legend, or will you resign yourself to mediocrity and die in obscurity? Join the Gladiators Guild. A decision you shan't regret. One moment. Make way for Malchazar Earthbottom. Fresh meat coming through. Before enrollment can be considered complete, you must present yourself to First Sword Milla. Seek her out and obtain her approval. Good thing she's right here. I heard Lulutsu, so you're Malchazar Earthbiter. 'Tis a good, strong name. On behalf of the Gladiators Guild, allow me to welcome you. I am Milla, Guildmaster. To study your arts, I presume you have reasons for choosing the sword over all other weapons. Perhaps you think it's easiest to learn. It is a simple weapon, but to wield a blade well is anything but simple. For every Colosseum champion to emerge from our ranks, there have been countless disappointments who have failed to achieve greatness. Bear that in mind before you answer me, Malchazar, for I do not ask this question lightly. Have you the strength to live with the sword and, if it be your fate, die by it? C. And welcome, Gladiator, to your new home. Let's not waste time, shall we? I would gauge your aptitude for the sword. Just outside the gates of Ulda, you'll find plenty of marmots, hornets, and shrews. Slay 3 of each and return here when finished. A simple task, but essential to your training nonetheless. Now go. Alright, so first kill quest. Before I do that, I'm going to grab as many of these shards as I can. Maybe all of them before I even leave the city. It's always a good idea. It takes a few minutes, but it's always worth it. And being able to travel around within the city is always very nice. And you always get a notification when you get all of them, so if you don't get that notification, then you have some to go find. How long does that last now? 10 seconds in combat, 20 seconds out of combat. Okay, I thought it was shorter than that. It's been a few months since I played. Okay. So I only have one attack. In this game they do everything by potency, so it like takes the damage of your weapon and it like has a multiplier in it. Usually you can just tell by looking at this how strong your attack's going to be. In other games it actually has the calculated damage on here, but I kind of like how simple this is. Okay. And this is a buff, so once every 60 seconds I can use it, and it increased my damage by 25%, which is very nice. It only lasts for 25 seconds, so it almost has 50% uptime, which is pretty sweet. Get the Aetheryte first before I talk to Aetheryte Shad. I thought there were more inside. I think there are. I'll go find one after I talk to this guy. Oh, there you are. Oh, sorry, and you are. Oh, you become an adventurer. But of course, yes, I'm Cicero. What can I do for you? Would you have me teach you the ways of the marketplace? Very wise. As for my fee, what, you expect me to do it for free? Surely you jest. My dear adventurer, you'll be asking a dual dawn for a favor. You should at least try to make it worth his while. Judging by your garb, I rather doubt you can afford my services, but the fact you are offered nothing is laughable. And over. Letter of introduction. Oh, Mistress Momodi instructed you to seek me out, did she? Consider yourself fortunate to have such influential friends. I shall be brief, and you shall be attentive. You stand in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, the busiest and most profitable marketplace in the Sultanate. Being it advantageously situated in relation to the other city-states, Uldan's markets have ever served as both literal and figurative centers of Eorzean commerce. All the great overland trade routes lead to our city, and the majority of maritime trade between Vilbrand and Aldenar pass through our ports. I think those are like individual city-states or something like that. Or like different parts of the world. Because of this, countless companies and consortia have chosen Ulda as their base of operations. They see to it this marketplace is awash with merchants and moneylenders day and night. Anything a man could ever desire can be purchased here, provided he has sufficient funds. Surely there's something you seek adventure, a deadlier sword perhaps, or a shinier trinket. Whatever it is you want, the exchange will have it. To the north, you will find merchants peddling armor and accessories, curatives, and crafting materials. Don't care. I'm not going to worry about that for quite a while. And to the south, you find weapons, tools, and an assortment of other useful items for sale. Seek out a particular merchant, or browse to your heart's content, but do try to remain aloof should you find something that piques your interest. Decisions made in the heat of the moment are usually unwise, especially where coin is concerned. That is all for my complimentary aid you shall have from me, and far too much for my taste. My regards to Momodi. Now off with you. I didn't need your help. Okay, so I need to return to Momodi, which I probably should do, because I think that she actually gives me another kill quest. It's been quite a while since I've started from scratch. So there are 3 main city-states, and depending on your class you choose, it helps the game decide where you start. So gladiators, thaumaturges, pugilists, and a couple other ones start here. Lancers, archers, conjurers, which are the beginning healer, they start off in Redania, which is like the city of the elves, and then the other one is Limsa Laminza, which is where the Marauder and the Arcanist start. I know there's more in that, but that's like the pirate town, or it used to be a pirate town. I already know on hand of items. Okay, so let's go. I need to go over here. I already have that one, don't I? Yeah, so what I need to do, actually, I want to go find... Yeah, that's where I need to go. It's up there, the Hustings Strip. That's where the other Aethernet shards are located. And then when I find the final one, I will be able to just teleport straight to the Adventurers Guild, or at least right outside of it. Cool down. Action not yet learned. Then why is it on my bar? Did I miss the door? Yeah, I've been paying attention. There's one right there. So red ones are ones you can't access yet. There are a lot of crafting classes in this game as well. I will not be worrying about them. At least at first. Crafting is a money sink. Sure, you can make some really cool stuff, but at first, I'm just going to ignore it. And there are a lot of different things you can do. Alright, so let's see if it gives me the message saying I got them all. Yep, there it is. So now I can use this. It's telling me I unlock these other ones to the gates, like I said, what's going to happen if you get all of them. So now I have free access to... Alright, so I need to go to the Adventurers Guild. Talk to Momodi. And then I can actually go fight something, hopefully. Sucks how it takes so long to get to the fight. I should probably check out the mailbox too. There are a few items in there that are pretty handy. Especially the helm it gives me for buying the collector's edition. They give you like 10% experience or something like that for several levels. This one I think it's just from kills, but still. I was returned to the city. Get lost, did you? Well, it was a big place with lots to see and do, but wandering around aimlessly don't pay the bills. If you're serious about making a living here, you'll need to remember where things are. So when you go explore like you got a purpose, eh? Well, if you just work hard, make money, and spend it here in the quicksand. Okay. Give me another key quest, please. Main scenario quest. I need to be level 4 to get it. So, again, that's by design. What is this one? Okay, there's just certain quests you can't access yet. Those are just generic quests, but I still need to be level 4 before I can do them. Let's go find... There's a mailbox right there. Past the dancing Nicotes. Zoom in. Delivery Moogle. Hey Moogle. Don't care. Is there a take all button? Gotta fill out my inventory for all this stuff. A lot of this is for glamour. So what glamour is it's like, hey, oh, that's all minions. Is like, let's say you have a look that you like, but the armor you have, that's the best armor that you can have at that point, doesn't look anything like what you want it to look like. What you can do is you can spend some in-game, there's the helm I was looking for, 20% when level 10 and below. Okay. Armory chest, I know how to save things, I don't need that. Minions, I know about that. Using items. Moving on. Some things are untradeable, some things are unique. And that. Okay, so now I have all these things in my inventory. A lot of these are mounts that I can't use yet. Some of these are minions. And let's just clear out my inventory. I can now summon that. I have to wait to a certain point to be able to ride them out, but at least I can. When I do get there, I can have the option. Okay, so use that. So knocked it down to 1. All right, let's see if I can find that button. There's a general minion roulette. Let's do that. Let's just pick a random minion. So these are just little fun things to have out. They don't do anything in combat, but. Let's look. I have a little behemoth. There's a Moogle. Let's use the Moogle. So, all right. So now that I have that, I need to go out and beat stuff up. Oh, I didn't. So when you click this button, it automatically equips everything that's the best for you, potentially. Huh. Okay. So I have a different look entirely. These are going to be replaced pretty quickly. This is mainly for looks. I look like Leon from Final Fantasy VIII because they came out with right here. They have like these gun blades. That's another class I don't have access to right now. That's just based on the Final Fantasy VIII character. Yeah. And of course, apparently they made it so that you get automatically step into an area and you automatically map the whole thing. I don't need to worry about battle and achievements. All right, so my targets up here, you can see in this big red area is where I need to be. The little dots are the actual targets, and I just need to start killing things. Oh, I got a high quality item already. That's mainly used for crafting. They're rare, and you get experience from killing. And when you kill something with and you have an item on you, it binds it to you, so you can't trade it after you've done something with it. Well, if you don't know the story behind Final Fantasy, back in the 80s, the company that created Final Fantasy, let me double check, I think it was Squaresoft. Yeah, so the company that made this, the first Final Fantasy, was actually going out of business. It was not doing very well at all. And so they pulled all the resources together, made an effort to come up with a new game. And because it was their last ditch effort, and it was, they thought it was a fantasy to succeed, they called it their Final Fantasy. That's the actual name of the original game, and that's why it's called that. Obviously, it was a massive success. There have been 15 main games and tons of spin-offs. 2 of them are MMOs, Final Fantasy XI and Final Fantasy XIV. But everyone's like, you know, when I say I play Final Fantasy, people are like, do you need to start all from Final Fantasy 1 in order to understand, say, Final Fantasy 15? And the numbering system just means it's just a new game. They just kept the name and just moved it on. Games have very little to do with each other. If they have anything to do with each other, it's just a few like references and Easter eggs and things like that. Like maybe a guy with the same name will show up, but it won't be the same dude from a previous game. Some games are just straight up fantasy, high fantasy with magic and swords. Some of them are mainly futuristic. You know, it's just they have nothing to do with each other. So no, you do not need to play all the way through 1 through 13 in order to play this one. And not even every Final Fantasy game is good. So, you know, everyone has their preferences. I enjoy MMOs generally. I made a Final Fantasy one. It took me a while to get into this one. I used to play World of Warcraft. And I still do every now and then, but the combat in this one is a lot slower, it feels like. You know, they make it so you can't spam the button, like I'll show you here. If you look at the button for number 1, you see how it's a little ring around it, makes it so I can't just keep hitting the button over and over again. It has recast 2.5 seconds. Well, in World of Warcraft, that's 1.5 seconds. A lot of your buttons are on the same cooldown, so you may have a bunch of attack abilities and you hit this one and you can't use any other ones. That way you can't just drag your finger across all the numbers and just use them in succession. That just means you have to be very careful and precise as to what you want to do and when. Some buttons aren't on that limit. That limit's called a cooldown, and I believe they call it a cooldown because certain real-life weapons, if you fire them too quickly, they heat up, and you have to stop and let them cool down before you can fire them again. That's, I believe, where they bring that from. So when there are a lot of buttons that have the same cooldown, it's called a global cooldown, or as we call it in MMO terms, the GCD. Welcome back. I've taken you dispatch the beast with ease. I rest assured there'll be far greater challenges to come. If you wish to master the sword, you must test yourself against a wide variety of foes. To this end, I present you this hunting log. It contains information on creatures ideal for gladiator and training. You will doubtless gain valuable experience should you seek out and slay them. It is only with such practice that you will recognize and eliminate the deficiencies in your technique. Your training under me shall continue until the haft sits so snugly in your hand that you cannot imagine holding aught else. Until then, Malkazar. Level 5, get my next mission. And ooh, did I get a level up? I did not. So close. So a lot of these items are things I can use in crafting, like cooking. I'm not going to worry about that. So when I eat this food, it makes it so my skill speed is up by 8%. So I can attack faster. I get more vitality, which is, I believe it's just directly maximum health. Not by much. This is like a really low level. And then direct hit rate affects the rate at which your physical and magic attacks land. Direct hits, dealing slightly more damage than normal hits. So it sounds like that's a critical hit. Not only that, but in the area just underneath, it says in the green, experience bonus 3%, duration 30 minutes. So if you have food on, which I will put on. Can I read the hunting log with H? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to essentially go back out to where I was. I need to kill a few more things in order to get level 4 to take the next main story quest. And if I kill 3-star marmots, not only do I get their experience, but I also get a 180 experience reward for killing all 3. This is just that's really handy. Like, so let's say I get to max level on Gladiator and I want to play a Lancer or something like that. Well, the main story's done at that point. You can't get all the experience from it anymore. So you have to find other ways to get the experience. And there are a lot of ways to do it. That hunting log is one of them. Wasn't it mauled? Yeah. So now they have a different symbol. They aren't part of a quest. This is the hunting log symbol. So if you see that, that means that you might want to spend some time taking them out. Some of them are really hard to kill. Some of them are really hard to find. And level up. Now I get combos. So now, if once I hit 1, you see that 2 kind of has a little glow around it. That means that if I hit someone with that, it does additional damage. Like I can hit someone with it directly. If I hit someone with it directly, it just does 100, which is less than this, which doesn't make sense. Then if I do it as part of a combo, it does 300, and it tells you which ability you need to use first in order to get that combo potency. So, oh, and it doesn't last forever. Much. If I do this, I'll kill this guy with this regular fast blade. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 seconds, something like that. So now I'm level 4, and I can go talk to Momodi and get the next main story quest. Like I said, these games start off really slow. More like there's a lot of world building. Just a lot of things just to kind of keep you busy, trying to get you hooked a little bit, start off easy. And then it'll eventually take off. And there will of course be points in between the good stuff. Like any main story, there's just going to be kind of slow things. Ooh, I can get some new gear from this. Momodi of Quicksand wants you to introduce you to a certain someone of the Ul'dah dispatch yard. Well, how are you finding our fine Ul'dah men? Got your bearings about you yet? If so, mayhap it's time you venture beyond the city walls. The bustling streets of Ul'dah are one thing, but the wilds of Thanalan are another altogether. I know a bloke you might fancy speaking to, and he you. His name is Papashan. You'll find him over at the Ul'dah dispatch yard. No doubt he'll have some work for you. The dispatch yard is over in central Thanalan. Just go head out the door across the hall, and you'll see a gate of knolls staring straight back at you. Pass through it and head east. You'll come upon it for long. There's dangers beyond the wall, though. More than I care to count. Nothing too terrible, mind you, but feisty enough to attack if you draw near. Don't say nobody cared enough to warn you. Yeah, see, all these quests are available to me now, but I'm not going to worry about those. Those are really nice to hold on to, especially if you want to, like, say, like I said, level another class. When you get to level, I think it's 16 and beyond, you have access to randomized dungeons where you get put together with a group of people in order to take things down. Certain roles get faster queues than others. Over here. Like my role is I'm a tank. There's damage dealers, these are all damage dealers, and then there's healers. Tanks and healers, a lot of people don't really want a lot of responsibility, they just want to play. So they take these. There's so many people playing these that these sometimes you can wait like 25-30 minutes to get into a group. These guys far less. And I'll explain shortly what these different roles are. Well, you certainly look the part of adventure, my friend. Might you be the good soul Momodi asked me to expect? I'm Papa Shot, station master of this humble dispatch yard. An empty title, I assure you. I truly am no more than a tired old Lollifel passing his final years in quiet solitude. 12 know there have been plenty of both of these last 5 years since the calamity struck. The devastation was vast. Yet now, true old odds work together, doing all in our power to rebuild what was laid to ruin. By the sweat of our brows and love of our home, we have rebuilt Uldot to the grandeur and majesty that you see today. The railways which run through this dispatch yard too were born of the noble efforts of a great many souls. But there is still much work to be done. The wounds left by the calamity run deep. Isolated areas beyond our lines of supply remain, and there are places yet wanting for relief and restoration. Uldot needs the aid of you and your brethren, friend. In fact, never has our need been more dire. Which brings me to the point, I suppose. I do believe I may have some work suited to one of your ability. Alright, so I get 1820 experience, 127 gil, and I get to choose. So when you're doing quests, sometimes there are items that you don't really benefit you, and you can take these. You can trade these in, you can sell them. There are a lot of things you do with these. But I do want this. I can't use them until level 5, it says there. It's like the yellow level 5, but when I am able to wear them, it will give me 2 extra defense, and that's what I want. Oh, I'm blind. Look at that. Got me to level 5, so I can go ahead and hit the recommended gear, and it will automatically equip those, taking off those ones. I'm going to be right back, actually. Hang on one second. Alright, I'm back. Let's get back to it. Okay. So before I continue, let me go ahead and do a quick overview of the roles in this game. So what they do in this game, let's kill these because I need them for my hunting log. What they do in games like this where they want to force people to play together is they take several aspects of a single player experience, and they separate them in such a fashion that you're not able to take down any or most tough experiences, large groups of enemies or a really strong boss without help. So the main three things that they separated, I'll just kill things for a while I explain it. The main three things that they separated are the ability to do damage. I mean, I'm doing damage now, but if I was a damage dealer, I would be doing a lot more damage. They separated the ability to do a lot of damage. They also separated the ability to take a lot of damage. And then they, again, separated the ability to heal a lot of damage. So my role as this character is I'm the tank. My job is to have the ability to take a lot of damage, either to mitigate it by blocking it with shields, which I have. I will have a shield eventually, I guess. I'm a gladiator, they get shields. Warriors, marauders, use a big axe, but they have their own ways to mitigate damage. Dark Knights and Breakers are the same. So these are the tanks. Not only is their job to have a lot of health, really thick armor, and the ability to mitigate damage even further with certain abilities, certain cooldown abilities that, like they say, for 10 seconds you take 20% less damage. Tanks get a lot of those. Not only do they have all these things that make it so they can last a long time, but their job is also to make sure that the enemy is focused on them, so they can actually use that deep health pool, and they can actually use that heavy armor. Because if the guy's running around smacking other people, that heavy armor and that health pool is not going to do you any good. Let me talk to him real quick, and then I'll explain the next one. As a simple task for a fledgling adventurer. You come this way, perhaps you can perform an errand for me. It just so happens a number of sentries have been sent to guard the area and dispatched to this dispatch yard, as it were. They have long been away from the shade and feather beds of the city. Hot and cold nights can play hells on the mind and body out here. It isn't much, but go and give them these twilight pretzels, would you? I find comfort food always helps when I feel like killing myself. Dang. So that's what a tank does, and I'm a tank. I like tanking. It's a lot of fun for me. The next goal is the let's go with the healer. So even as a tank, with all that heavy armor and all that health and all that mitigation, you're still not going to be able to survive for long against someone that hits really hard. It just won't happen. Sure, if you weren't a tank, you'd probably be killed in 1 or 2 hits. As a tank, it may still take you 5 or 6, but you're still going to be killed in 5 or 6 hits. So what the healer does is they use their magical abilities in order to bring your health back up, make it so you can survive longer. A tank and healer combo can survive almost anything. The limit on that is how much healing they can do. They do have a I don't use the mana pool as a gladiator, the magic points. This is the currency, I guess. I don't want to call it currency. It's the resource you have in order to cast spells. Yeah, once a healer runs out of these, no more healing, and the tank dies. So because a tank and a healer themselves usually can't do enough damage to take down a big enemy, this is where the damage dealers come in, or as they're known in MMO terms, the DPS, because damage is calculated by how much damage you do per second, because it's real time. Sure, this weapon says it does 5 physical damage. Well, if I'm only hitting every 5 seconds, that's 1 damage per second. Then they have all these other abilities that add to your DPS. But that is the basics. There are other videos out there that explain it better than I do, but that's just the basic overview. Halt, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to put the pretzel on the ground and place your hands above your head. What a serious Sultan sworn. Hand over a pretzel. State your name and business. I try that pretzel for Papashan. By the gods, forgive me. You can say this stew post has my nerves in a twist. I'm terribly sorry for that. Yes, well, you may rest assured that the dispatch yard is safe so long as I stand watch. Please give Papashan my thanks and tell him that I only wish I could repay the favor. Alright, where's the next nearest? I'll go south first. So in when you get into dungeons in this game, the party is made of 4 people. Now in this game, a full party is 8, but in regular dungeons, it limits you to 4. That's called a light party. You have 1 tank, 1 healer, and 2 damage dealers, 2 DPS, in order to defeat everything in the dungeon and move on. Western front clear, eastern front clear. Stern Sultan Sworn. Are we waiting for Papashan? I tried that pretzel. My favorite. How did he know? Can't find an empty stomach now, can I? Actually, I can't find any stomach. I suppose I could say I have no stomach for fighting. Then what are you doing in this profession? Now, so there's a light party, which is 4 people, the full party, which is 8 people, and that's just for Final Fantasy. Other games have different limits, like WoW, a party is 5. So 1 tank, 1 healer, and 3 damage dealers. So a full party is 8 people. Now and you use them for much more difficult experiences than just regular dungeons, called raids, which give better gear, better everything, better money. And then beyond that, there are the Alliance raids, which is where you take 3 full parties, a total of 24 people, and you all go into an Alliance raid in order to take down even bigger enemies. And that's usually like either the raiding or the Alliance raiding is usually the bread and butter of end game content for story. Now there is player versus player stuff. I don't really care for that. But player versus environment, which is when they say you're just doing the story mode or going up against the computer controlled enemies. That's my fun. PvE is where I live. Player versus environment. I love that. 12 save. It's a servile Sultan Sworn. 12 save me. Scorching days, freezing nights. This post will be the end of me. Here is a twilight pretzel. Traditional Dunesfolk bread, twisted in the shape of a knot and sprinkled generously with the coarse ground salt before being baked to a perfect brown resembling twilight or thanalan. After that pretzel, don't mind if I do. Now that's a refreshing goddamn pretzel. I feel reborn. Doo-doo. Mean that check mark and I can sprint back. If I so chose, I'm going to. Actually, let me change something real quick. There. No need for that. Nobody's watching right now anyway. Okay. You've returned with the deal fewer pretzels, I see. Tell me, how far are Sultan Sworn sentries? Do you have anything to report? Anything at all? What? Nothing, are you sure? Oh dear. Keep us for your troubles then, and stay a moment. There is more I would ask of you. Alright, so on this one they have it limited or a lot of information when you hover over it. The main thing I'm looking for is the physical damage. Just below it, it says GLAPLD. That means a gladiator or a paladin can wield it at level 5. And then below it, even more so, is a buff that it gives you. So it gives me 1 extra strength. So I'll explain buffs and debuffs momentarily. Level up, I got Total eclipse. Move that over here because that is a pew pew. All right, so I have a couple things to explain. So let me do that. So buffs, when they talk about a buff, they talk about something that just makes you stronger. That's all it is. This is a buff. This is a buff. It buffs me. Now there are certain things that are the exact opposite, like things like poison and blind, being on fire. Those types of things that actually are a detriment to you are called debuffs. Now, on a related note, when the game developers go in and they make changes to how much damage an ability does, then they can either buff the ability, make it stronger, or they can nerf the ability, which makes it weaker. And that is in relation to saying, like, hey, this is my pistol. Oh, and it just got nerfed because it just got turned into a Nerf gun. That's why they call it nerfing, is because it just makes it useless almost, or not as strong. Now, Kazera, I have just this moment. No time for concealment of the past. Time for concealment is past. Speaking is my strength. The truth is, even before I had to deliver those pretzels, I was privy to some most unsettling news, which is the real reason I sent you to see those souls more. Oh, he's in dire need of your assistance. I'm like, complete already? I didn't do anything. My hat's ridiculous. A young noblewoman from a very prestigious family has run away from home, and I've been ordered to see her safe return. Sultan swore you met earlier are assisting with the search, and alas, it seems they have found no trace of her either. I apologize for not being frank with you from the start, but we must proceed with caution. Should word of her disappearance spread, I fear others with less honorable motives may join the hunt. And should we allow her to come to any harm, not even 100 beheadings would be punishment enough. I wonder who got out. That cannot happen, Malkazar. It must not. I need you to help me find her. Now, the starting quests for each city are all pretty similar. There are some differences because they're different cities. But once they all the quests in those cities are finished, they all meet up in a certain spot, and then it's the same quest for everybody. Praise the 12. I knew we could count on you. I've instructed the others to expand the search, but Thanlin is vast, and there are only so many of us. The young noblewoman's name is Lady Lilira. I want you to go south and look at her vicinity for her in the vicinity of the Sultan Tree. Good luck. Okay. So I explained buffs, debuffs. I explained the holy trinity of tanks, DPS, and healers. Now let's explain this. So this is an ability that hits everybody around me. Very nice for making enemies want to hit me. In this game, not the ability, the name for like the internal table, I guess, is what I was going to say, that the enemies look at in order to determine who they're going to attack, which should be the tank. The name of that stat is called, in this game, is called enmity. In other games, this could be called threat or aggro. Essentially, everything a person does, a healing, damage, it adds up, and a monster keeps track of it for every single person doing damage to it or healing around it. And whoever's at the top of that table, whoever has the most enmity, whoever has the most hate, threat, aggro, that is who the enemy is going to attack. So again, my job as the tank is to make sure I'm at the top of that list. I don't have any abilities that specifically increase enmity, but this is always a nice, if people, no, let me do this. If people are smart, I'll pull this out, a little bit break. Worry about that later. Abilities I don't have yet. They even tell me what the abilities I get eventually are. Timers, hunting log. A lot of things in this game. Map, wait, there we go. Signs. That one's nice. I like that. So you can use this to mark an enemy and say, you know what? Let's take up the giant tortoise first. Let's take up the huge hornet second. Anybody who knows what this means knows that I'm going to be throwing a couple of these out here to make sure both of these guys are on me. And then I'm going to be using my main attacks here to just do damage to this guy to keep him on me. If anybody starts attacking this, you may pull them off of me by getting higher on that internal table I was telling you. So you want to make sure that everyone knows who to attack. As a tank, that is pretty much my job. Now that I'm level 5, I can actually go do the class quest. I will do so after I do this. A hooded Lalafell. Let me get in there, please. Oh, Sultan Tree. We're about to enter an instance battle. Instance battle only occurred during certain quests and missions. Take a moment to read the information displayed in the active help window before answering the call of duty. So, we're about to enter a special instance. These areas are reserved for important battles, which feature unique environmental conditions or powerful boss enemies. Instance objectives can be confirmed on the duty list. For the duration of the battle, you will be unable to pass beyond the red line. You will automatically leave once all quest objectives have met, or if you lose. So an instance in these games, because there's so many, I mean, you don't see them a lot because I'm not at the end of the game. Like the final city, that's where 99% of the players usually are, or they're doing dungeons and stuff. I'll see like new players running around, but so anyway, an instance is, you know, let's say I start this thing and the boss that I want to fight pops up and there are 10 people around. Well, I'm instanced, and what that does is it takes me and puts me in a separate server so that no one else can see me or anything I'm doing. That's the same way we work with dungeons too, because if you went into a dungeon with your light party of 4 people and all the other people that were doing the dungeon were there as well, then it would just be chaos. So they separate it so like, oh, your party has their own dungeon to do. That's called instancing, and this is what this does too, is it separates it so that no one else can essentially help me. It really makes it really sucks when you're trying to play as a group or teach someone how to play and it's like, by the way, you can't help here.
Oh, Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line, forgive my weakness. My failings have cost us dear. Show yourself!
As you command, O Lilira. Forgive my selfish desire to assure your welfare.
There we go. I like him, he's funny.
I don't recall requesting an escort. Simply pretend we never met and continue on your way.
We both know I can do no such thing. It isn't safe for you here alone. It isn't safe for anyone. Not with this etheric disturbance. It's as though the dead are watching us. And I'd prefer not to join them. If it's all the same to you. Ah, you must be the one that Papa Shan mentioned. Congratulations on finding our elusive young charge. You'll have to forgive her impetuousness. What she lacks in discipline, she makes up for in stubbornness. You should return with us. The station master will be eager to thank Lady Lilira's protector in person.
Not yet.
Alas,
time for an actual
the
battle.
Station master will have to wait. Dear Lilira, for my sake, please stay out of harm's way.
All right.
As for you, dear friend, for Lilira's sake, please stay in harm's way.
I don't have a shield yet. It's kind of weird. Whatever. All right, let's do this. Yeah. You're doing damage from behind. donut at the bottom. This is where DPS usually want to hang out. So I'll use my ability to increase my damage. I have a little timer up on top there. Then I have this brilliant conviction. This essentially makes it so that I'm stronger already just because I'm scary stuff. Makes it hard to lose. I wish that we could die faster. This is one of the reasons why this game is slower as well. This thing has so much health. Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed. Oh, other guys are coming. So he has their attention. He's taking from them. But I can take on these guys. You know, good proc. Good proc defense. Leave the big one to me. You can handle the rest. Oh, I know. One's better. No. I need to move this. This thing over here is like a threat. You can move everything you've touched. If it's blue, you're no longer. You are not in. At risk of taking the enmity off of the tank, or whoever has the enmity at the time. If it is red, then you are the targets, and there are a couple other options. Like I think a down yellow arrow means you're losing enmity, and an up orange arrow means you're gaining enmity. See, look, I have the red enmity on these guys. That's what, as a tank, for the most part. There are some encounters you probably know. I'm gonna keep off the guys. I'm doing like no damage to this guy. Had some strange. He's pretty hurt though. There's no loss of hurt himself, but. Finished. Duty complete. Whatever the Blancos are. Who day it?
Whew.
Ooh. Something shiny.
Hear, feel, think. Crystal Bearer. I am Hydaelyn, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them.
That's a big crystal.
By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart. Shine thy light on all creation.
Ah, coming around now.
There we go. Yes, thank you. Coming around. It was a nap.
Would you mind telling me what that was?
If I only knew. A denizen of the void at any rate.
The void sent? Here? But how?
The question isn't how, but who. We're not dealing with bookless bandits. Don't suppose the answer came to you in a dream. No sooner did you fell the beast than you fell asleep. Too much ether, no doubt. Interesting. I hadn't considered the crystal. But of course, this changes everything.
Oh, man.
Oh, just thinking aloud? At any rate, we haven't a moment to spare. I must return and report this at once. I leave Lady Lilira in your capable hands.
How dare you pass me about like a swaddled babe? I shall return and tell them myself.
So feisty.
As you wish, your impetuousness. I suspect we shall meet again before long. Until then, do try and stay awake.
Whatever. Alright, can I play again? The story's cool and all, but return to Papashan. Yep. Anything else in here? So this was in Central Thanalan, Western, Central, that's up north, that, Western, Central, again, north. All these are in like the first couple zones, and then after you get these done, you can get further down in the ranks, and they get harder and harder. These are all the other classes as well. The rogue you don't get access to like until at least one of your characters is level 10, I think, so don't have to worry about that. Anything new? Ah, I didn't even update my weapon. I'm a dingus. Equip. You. That fight would have gone slightly shorter if I had done that. There are some really cool looking weapons in this game too. That's one of the things people do at the very end of the game. It's like, you know, all I really want to do is look good. It becomes the end game's fashion. That's one of the jokes. The running jokes. Thank the gods you returned. You had us all so worried. You do realize what happened if a person of your noble stature were to be injured or worse. Why, Her Grace the Sultana would be beside herself with grief, and so would her subjects. I dare say they'd be weeping in the streets. But I've already given you cause to weep, Papa Shan, you and the people of Lula. Please, you're not to say such things. You will find it, I swear to you. It is not my place to make demands, my lady, but I beg you. Please stay out of harm's way. My lady. I apologize for causing you undue worry, Papa Shan. I shall refrain from traveling unescorted into the future. Curtsy. Nods. Game of nods. Let's nod it up. Maybe some nodding. I cannot thank you enough, Malxer. I understand you have fought bravely to protect Lady Lilira from void-sent fiends. For your gallant servants, you deserve all the riches in the royal vaults. Alas, a small token of my gratitude is best I can offer. Sarcastic man with a strange contraption strapped to his shoulder. I see you met Fancred. He's a scholar who spends his days investigating oddities in the ether. Rather too fond of the sound of his own voice for my liking, but perfectly harmless. As for you, Malcazar, you're just the sort of adventurer we need around here. I pray you show the same kindness to the people of Thanalan as you did to us today. Oh. Level up. No new abilities. Cisadoa. Cisadoa needs a reliable adventurer to deliver a gift to the coffer and coffin. You're an adventurer, yes? If you're not otherwise occupied, I have a favor to ask. I've resolved to repay a debt of gratitude what you owe to the owner of the coffer and coffin. For this purpose, I purchased from the royal plantations a prodigiously plump pumpkin. A particularly popular piece of produce. Look at that alliteration. Alas, I cannot part this place to procure and proffer the pumpkin. You see, the scheduled shipment from the Nanawa mines for which I wait is late. I prevail upon you to pick up the pumpkin in my stead and see it safely to the coffer and coffin. I present this receipt of purchase to Gagari at the royal plantations, and she will reveal to you. I apologize for asking you to attend to this time-consuming task, but I truly appreciate your assistance. Busy work. It's a lot of the game. This game has lulls, but even if you're trying to focus on the story. If Cisadoa doesn't come calling soon, this particular specimen shall sadly be past its prime. Hand over the receipt of purchase. Also here to deliver this decadent delight, I can say with confidence that any gourmand will be grateful for such a grand gift. Here is the pumpkin. I hope it meets with Roger's approval. Fresh produce is somewhat scarce in these parts, and as such we are always deluged with demand. You know the way to the coffer and coffin, correct? It is beyond the bridge to the northwest. Look for a place with local laborers' lounge. Alright, so that's the story. I'm going to go back to town because I have the Kicking the Hornet's Nest, the level 5 gladiator mission to pick up. Come on. Get my auto run. Auto run. I have it bound to my middle mouse key so that I can just click it without having to. I also have it bound to period, I think. Which one is it? Whatever. I just have middle mouse key. That's just a lot easier for me to use. The Steps of Nald. Is it dark? The music does change whether or not it is light or dark or day or night in game. Yeah, it's night. And the day-night cycle. This is the in-game time. It goes by pretty fast, so it be late. Gladiators go. Oh, let me take a moment here to So I just saw the other ones on that Ethernet. So over here, these are all the classes for combat. These are all the classes for these are the gathering ones you can mine. You can gather bushes, mainly I can't even think of the word. Lumber, there it is, and you can fish. And then you can use these items and any of these items you pick up from monsters, like the animal skins and honey and stuff, to craft. There's carpenters, blacksmiths, armorers. Blacksmiths make weapons, armors make armor, metal armor, of course. Then there's the goldsmiths, which they make jewelry. There's all the little jewelry right there. Leather workers make leather. Some, like my character, he can wear super heavy plate. Some can wear leather. Some can only wear cloth. Alchemists make potions, and culinarians make food. These all can be leveled up to max. I think the current max is level 80. That's again a money and time sink. They all have their benefits. Some of them are necessary for certain things. If you don't have any of these and you need something, then you have to pay someone else in-game money to get it. So, nice. That's pretty nice. Oh, I still don't have a shield. I'm gonna get one later. Forsword Milo wishes to teach you the fundamentals of the gladiatorial arts. Malkazar, I take it you and your sword have become better acquainted. Then I will now instruct you on another fundamental aspect of what it means to be a gladiator. Commanding an opponent's attention. As I was explaining, this is the enmity. As gladiators, we are trained to engage enemies at close range, weathering their attacks as we deliver our own. However, there are times when we must do battle alongside allies whose talents are not the same as our own. In such a situation, your role is not to slay the enemy, but to rather defend the man beside you. You do this by eliciting the enmity of your opponents through attacks and techniques designed to incite their hatred. It sums up pretty much what You must learn to draw the enemy's attention to yourself and to trust in your stout constitution to endure. In so doing, you protect your weaker comrades who would otherwise perish. To help you better understand this, there is a task I'd have you perform. It just so happens that Momodi of Quicksand has requested your assistance. A gang of Leminson marauders has paraded into town and begun harassing people outside her establishment. Men like these prey on the weak, but will not turn tail and flee at the first sign of defiance. But they will turn tail and flee, sorry. You need not resort to violence. It will suffice to show them that you are not afraid of them and will not tolerate their behavior. Seek out the Leminsons and make your presence known by bellowing "Face me, Marauder." In this way, you will protect the people of Lada as you are your allies in battle. When it's orange like that, it means there's an emote I will have to do. Okay. Let's go back down to, I have to do it 4 times. I don't have a belt. Eventually, like, when you, there it is. When you start off, you have a bare bones set of gear. Okay, let's find, there's one. Let's slash me. Come on. Slash me. Look at me. What? You blaming me because this little shite shot his own pants? See, I told you they swore. Haha. Well, bugger me, bugger him, and bugger you too. Alright, see now I'm in the red area. They don't tell me exactly where these guys are. I need to find them myself. And this is how you find them. It's pretty simple. Little Mannered Marauder. And this is, again, slowly teaching you the emote system and how you have to use it sometimes. You know your friend here's a 12 damn to cheat. Thinks he can charge us more because we're foreigners. But he'll get his own back. Mark me words. And there's 3 and 4. So I'll go for this guy up here. The elves is your problem. Maybe she likes her men rough. What are you supposed to be? Her bleeding manservant? It don't matter. You've gone to spoil the mood. Hey, get out of here. Enough of that nonsense. Here's me. Person named himself Spoony Bard. That's a reference to Final Fantasy IV. Good times. That's a really good game. Not apostrophe me slash me. I motioned to myself. Boy, come on now. You must disrespected me proud wolf, sea wolf heritage. I'm a sea wolf too, dingbat. Fine, I'll leave the bastard be, but we ain't finished. See? I'm a sea wolf too. Okay, so now I need to head back to... Oh, there's one more inside I need to talk to. Yeah. Parental. Okay, what a name. Just who the hell do you think you're speaking to, Maggot? I'm Parental, the Driven. And me bloody marauders have been driven so long, mothers scare their children with tales about us. Don't believe me words? Then let me axe do the talking. Time to fight. Oh, this is lively, even for the quicksand. You two gonna put on a show for us? What's that? Another god's damned fool. Show some respect when you talk to Parental the Driven, leader of a troop of bloody mummers or some such. I heard you the first time. Your voice carries quite well. And unless you want me to split your skull with my axe, you better... Ooh. That sword, it couldn't be. Frenzy! But only the sword of Nald would. Bloody hells, it's you! You know, I've never been one to stand back and watch. Mind if I join the fun? Begging your pardon, sir. Why do they always do that? It looks like it's just you and me. Standing to that lamentum is quite brave of you, and quite foolish. I think I like you, gladiator. Name's Aldous, and I'd buy you a drink, but I'm afraid I just spent the last of my coin. I used to be a lone gladiator like you. Back then, but that hardly concerns you. These days I'm just an explorer of the unexplored, a seeker of as yet unknown experiences. Like that beautiful stranger keeping my bed warm right now. Gods, I miss the city, this wonderful desert jewel of debauchery and sin. Now, if you'll excuse me. What a dude. Let's give me your sword. Do I need to go back to the Gladiators Guild now? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, talk to Momodi. I swear, if I had seen Aldous with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it was him. Everyone here thought he died years ago. Listen, Malkazar, do me a favor and don't tell Mel about meeting Aldous, alright? She doesn't need this sort of drama. Ooh. Why? Well, let's just say some folk ain't good for one another. Okay, I'll report to Mel. Did I do your thing yet? No, dang it. I don't remember what point, but the Smiths, they open up. It's probably right when you get access to the dungeons. They open up training for your role. Like okay, here's tank training to kind of teach you the ropes, and healing training and DPS training. If you only know how to do all that, they actually give you pretty decent gear when you go through it the first time. So I'll do it when it becomes available. The music's quite good too. I think it's from Final Fantasy II. They have a lot of old music in this that they have remastered, etc. So it is a lot of nostalgia for people who play a lot of the Final Fantasies. All right. Earned of your exploits to the quicksand now, because there you did well to send those marauders packing. I wish I could say we've heard the last of them. Alas, we've received reports of axe-wielding raiders assaulting merchants traveling through the Scorpion Pass. It seems words will not suffice after all. I want you to finish what you've begun, Nagazare. Head to the western Fanaland and see that farm well driven, and all those who have shared in his crimes never trouble the people of Ul'dah again. Sorry. Nope, I don't need info. Where is it? I haven't been in Western Thailand, so we'll take the portal, Aetherite, whatever you want to call it. Western Thailand. And I'll get the achievement for just stepping in. Yep. Discovered everything. And in the expansions, you have to discover the map piece by piece. But I think in the original game, they open it up. It's the blue one. So these quests with the blue, that are blue and they have the little plus there. The music's nice. Ooh. I need to take some of these down. They open up things. This one opens up the player housing for this city. Tab targeting, it's not very effective. Basically, it tab until you find the one you want. Sometimes it's not very effective. Sometimes it is. Sometimes clicking is more effective. 1, 2, 3, could do it. Alright. Anything else over here? There's more stuff in West. Yeah, Cactuar, see? It's always good to take these down when you can. The more experience, the better. I think there's a... I don't know if they fixed it, but there's like a point when you get up near the end of the original game, around level 48 or 49, where the last quest is level 50 and you're like too low. So try to get ahead of it as much as you can. Oh, oops, finish this guy off. Alright. Well, that's a pretty mount. Well, it's a level 80. You can actually inspect, so you can examine people. So this is the gear. This person's job right now is a dancer. Where's the inspect? I want to look at your... Can you only... I hate how they do that. Sometimes you can only do it. I wanted to look at all their classes. For some reason, you can't do it while you're not in a dungeon. But when you're in a dungeon, you can look and see if what they've all leveled up. I'm gonna look like that noob that's only leveling up one class until I get to max. They tore me from my saddle, took everything I own. Bring my goods back, I beg of you. Interacting. All right, so now you can look at shinies, and you can see them on the map probably. Oh. Talk to inmate. Oh no, that's not. I don't want that. That's what I want to avoid for now. I'll do those eventually, but I just want to kind of get through all this. Sprint. Pew pew pew. Fates. So fates are the dynamic content. They randomly spawn, and you can participate, and you get points for helping. So there's a little bar over here. Oh, get out of that. This is just another way to get more experience along the way. And the fate targets are little purple symbols next to their names. So like the bar is filling up pretty quickly. There's also a timer on there. You get more rewards. The more contributions, like more damage, more healing. Let's get out of that. Those little things are the AoEs. Those are the area of effects, kind of like mine. But you can see them before they happen in this game. Sometimes you have more time, sometimes you have less. And finished. So I got a gold, 560 experience, and 10 guild. Gold, silver, bronze. Caravan sacks. Yeah, shiny. And purple. Interact with it. Usually if it's purple, it means it's gonna spawn an enemy. There's the farm roll. Here. I'm gonna do extra damage to it. Oh, get out of that AoE. If you're standing anywhere in that area of effect, it will hit you. So you definitely want to run. purple ones usually spawn enemies. Oh, my pants is still up, so this... Oh, it's on now. And here you go. Hand over. Oh, bless you, adventure. If it weren't for Megan Lemek, I'd never leave home. How close am I to the 8th rank? Not at all. Not gonna worry about it. I need to report to Milla anyway, so I'm actually going to... might as well. I'm gonna teleport back to my home location. Put that on a 15-minute cooldown. Might as well. Now, any of these terms that I'm explaining, someone's probably has explained it better than I have. Where am I going? You can use this to actually access the Aethernet too, so it's right here. So like, you know, cooldowns and buffs and all the things I've been talking about, someone's probably done a better job. There's even like, probably not even just reading, but videos of all these MMO terms. Speaking of MMO, short for MMORPG, which is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. So this type of game is a role-playing game. When it comes to massively multiplayer online, it means that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people playing at any given time. Now, they may be split amongst different servers, so not everyone's on the same server, but still they're all playing. Good, it is finished. And with that, this stage of your training is complete. This time your enemies were ill-behaved ruffians, but who knows what manner of opponents you'll face in the future. Regardless, I have faith that you will do well. Master your sword and you shall master yourself. Now then, there will be work for you in the earth in the days to come. Return to your training, we'll speak again. So I picked I get the sword, but these are the options. So I'm probably going to take chest. These are all good, but this one is the best. I'm going to go ahead and equip that. I'm actually looking like an actual tank. I have some nice metal armor on. The next mission is available at level 10. Okay. At least the story mission. I'm going to go do the, not the story mission, the gladiator story mission. Get him all, I think, just the one that I'm closest ready to go. Yep, I was right. Alright, so I need to head up there. Are there any fates on right now? There's a fate over there. I don't need to worry about that. There's a dungeon. I think that's a much higher level dungeon. Most of the dungeons you unlock just by doing the story, but there are some dungeons you have to go out of your way to find, and that's another one of the purpose of those blue quests with the plus, just to unlock dungeons, and then you also do those to unlock hard modes of dungeons. Aha. Yoink. So let's do more hunter log stuff while I'm here. Pompadour. Never name. That chair means that they're AFK. They're away from their keyboard, and they have been for long enough that shows up, indicating that they are they're not playing right now. If you AFK long enough, then the game will automatically let you out. Nice. Almost got level 7 out of that. Oh, get off of that. And here's my destination. This little thing under the rock. Oh. I know I'm probably doing this ahead of time. I'll probably get a quest to take these down anyway. Sometimes there are some overlap. There is some overlap. I'm not 100% sure about that. I need to kill, it says 1 of 3, so I need to kill 2 more. Nice. to that in a second. Let me finish this up. And come on. Nice. So role actions. They are actions that are assigned to your role of tank, DPS, or healer, rather than a specific class. So all tanks get this ability. So this one is one of those defensive cooldowns called Rampart. For 20 seconds, I take 20% less damage. That's usually used if you know an enemy well enough. You're like, hey, this next hit's gonna hurt a lot and I can't avoid it. You have to wait. It's on a 90-second cooldown, so you have to wait 90 seconds for it to go back up or be able to be used again. Drink for your laddie. You won't get better ale or spirits for your coin than a new place. Here is your plantation pumpkin. What's that? We Cicidoa asked you to bring this here for me? Ah, yeah, so even that foul-mouthed drunk knows the meaning of remorse. Reckon this is for the time I carried a drunk hot and arse back home. But hell is an honest-to-God's pumpkin for the royal plantations. I can't wait to see what the cooks will do with her. The lads here scoffed down beastly amounts of meat, and it's starting to tell on their health. It'll be good to get more vegetables in their bellies. Assuming I can get the stubborn bastards to try something new. Thanks for the help, laddie. And I get more food. Okay. Oh. Usually when you finish a main scenario quest, another one pops up nearby, and you can find on the mini-map up here. Most of the time it's from the same person you just finished it with, but sometimes it's not. Roger here has all sorts of information as on work, some of which may be useful to you. Word is, Blackbrush Station's sorely undermanned. The stone torches there can't get a moment's peace. A bloke by the name of Warren is hoping to bolster their numbers for a short-term assignment or two. If you fancy putting a few extra gil in your pocket, you can do a lot worse. Alright, you know about gear. All RPGs and MMOs have that. You find pieces of gear and update it and you get stronger. Not only do you level up yourself to get more abilities and more stats, like these will level up with me. Especially these ones, the ones that matter to me. I'm gonna get this real quick. Teleport learned. So now that I have more than one Aetheryte on my Aetheryte list, I can click teleport and it'll show me all the ones I've found. Now, it does cost money to use. There are a lot of places that have them. This is all of them, and this is just the ones in Fantaland. I think the max is 999 to teleport if you're like really far away from it. The further you are away from it, the more it costs. Which you just saw it costs 100 gil just to teleport the thing right next to you. Looking for work for perchance? If so, you couldn't have come at a better time. Wavestone torches are cell swords hired by the Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern to protect its interests. Our primary duty here is to keep the tracks clear of pests, and it is for this purpose that we require your aid. I should point out, however, that it can be messy work, and liable to get messier still if you're ill-prepared. A single piece of gear can mean the difference between life and death. I'll not have it on my conscience that I sent an ill-equipped adventurer to an untimely demise. See to it that your arms and armor are in order. When you are ready, present yourself to me again. So items have levels too? Really? I'm level 11, 6, 1, 1. I've never been limited like this. What? Oh, do I actually have to buy some? Well, I've never had to deal with that before, but I guess. Purchase weapon. Do you have any better weapons for me? You do, but I think the one I have is fine. It needs to be level 5, right? Yeah. What's... shops. Battle gear. What am I missing? Head is good. That's good. I need legs and hands. Is that all I need is legs and hands? head, body, hands, legs, and feet. Yeah, so I just need legs and hands. Kind of weird that they make you go out of your way to buy stuff. Alright, hands. Where are my hands? 9. I just need to do level 5, right? Yeah, let's buy the cheaper one. Hands. And legs. It has a symbol over here showing what it is. Okay, so now I've upgraded all those. They look ridiculous. On every piece of weapon, you can see a little dot in the top right. That is, well, not all of them. Some of them are. You can't if they're always the same color, but these ones have dyes on them. You can always change the dyes with another in-game item, but I usually don't worry about that. So you ready for the inspection? Good. Yet know that not as guaranteed in this world. Fate is a fickle mistress after all. At any rate, capable adventurers like you are few and far between, and I would not have you throw your life away. I have had to bury too many comrades who brushed aside cracks in their hauberks and dents in their helms. No matter what you face, do not disregard the importance of gear. Are you gonna give me something better anyway? No. No. Alright, give me the bronze piece. I can sell that for money. Okay. They give me a better weapon. Oh, I could buy that. See, I usually don't buy things off merchants because when you do quests and dungeons and stuff, you always get better anyway. Warren has a worker for adventure willing to exterminate the goblins attacking ore wagons. Let's get to it then, shall we? Ore wagons pass through the station every day, but not without incident. Wagons coming and going from dispatch yard to the south must pass through a tunnel by Festus Watch, a tunnel in which some genius saw fit to put an ore storehouse, creating ideal conditions for a goblin nest. So now the ore-loving beasts have taken up residence in a tunnel we dug, and we're practically delivering meals to the doorstep. But no more. Inside the tunnel in question, you will find a narrow fissure where the goblins hide. Use a silver ore cluster to lure out the creatures and then slay them. Key items. So they're just telling you how to use them. If it's an item, like a key item, it's up here on this. You can click on off the duty list. It's a lot easier just to do that. All right, let's get in this tunnel. Hey, a little different fate over there. Oh, I need to talk to the porter too. In every town, or most towns, there's also a porter, which allows a different type of fast travel system. It's a lot cheaper than teleporting everywhere, but it is a lot slower. Watch, so I can use it off of this item, right click on it, right click, and then hit use, or I can just left click on it, and then left click on this. Same thing. I was gonna try to use my AoE on him, but easy peasy lemon squeezy, man. Now let's get back. Pew pew. Anything new? Got it. I always check every now and then just to make sure. A giant tortoise. There is no you can't body block. You can walk literally through any monster or person just to make, because especially if there are thousands of people in town, you don't want to have to like jump over people. Yeah, that just doesn't sound like fun. There we go. Well done. It shan't be easy work to keep the tunnel free of goblins, but our wagon should be able to go unmolested for a time. Disruptions to our ore shipments threaten not only the interests of Omagina and Sons by no concern, but of Ulda herself. One might liken these train tracks to veins that bear our nation's lifeblood. If only we had more men like you to lend a hand. So, better weapon. Storyteller, what's that? I think that's it. I got an achievement, and you get those as you go sometimes. Storyteller is 10 unique quests. Okay. Where is Oh, do I already have it? Chocobo Keep. Oh, I can't do anything until what, level 15 is what it said? Level 10. Almost there. But not all of them are available. You'll see like a tiny like exclamation point above their head if you haven't, and you just talk to them and that unlocks it for you. Zuzumita wishes to share with you a most amazing rumor. Ah, the altruistic adventure. I was hoping we'd bump into each other. Why? It was the most fascinating piece of news recently reached my ears, and I'm eager to share it. May I? Rumor has it there's a vast untapped vein of ore between the ruins of Sildi. But that is not all. Inconceivably, the concern appears to be entirely ignorant of its existence. And even as we speak, a young upstart, a self-milled merchant from Stone's Throw of all places, not Stone's Throw, whatever, is moving to claim it. The whole name is Weiston, and he is a very, very ambitious young man. Not only does he intend to secure exclusive excavation rights, but they say his master plan is to use this new fortune to curry a favor with the Sacrarium. All these words, I don't... whatever. Of course, a thaumaturgist only consider the opinions of the most wealthy when drafting the laws of Ul'dah. If you would have your voice heard, you must be prepared to pay Sultan's ransom. One voice which is invariably heard belongs to Lord Lolo Rito. He's actually important. He has long lavished gold upon the thaumaturges, and has some claim that he devises new laws with the express intention of ruining his competitors while protecting his own interests. Suffice it to say, if Weiston thinks he can compete with the likes of the Syndicate, he's in for a rude awakening, but that eventually may yet be a little way off. For the present, he is moving ahead with his plans and assembling a team to survey the site. I'm told he's at the coffer and coffin now, recruiting able-bodied adventurers to escort his prospectors. Warren said you were looking for work. Maybe you should meet Weiston and volunteer for his expedition? Yes. Let's see if I can... How much experience do I get for killing a few dudes? I want to see how long it's going to take me to get to level 9 or level 10 if I just kill things. You don't get very much experience from killing. It's mainly from... Not enough. Okay. I got a very small amount. I'm not going to stand here for 10 minutes and kill things just to get a level. I'm going to move on with the story here. Idle phones. Where are you? There you are. Come to join. Sorry, but you're too late. Some brass blades looking for extra coin volunteered, and the team's already en route to the ruins. But look, I know it's not easy to find work these days. If you're interested, there's something else you can do for me. There are these children outside, little ones from Stone's Throw. I look after them when I have the time to spare, and they've taken following me around, even when I tell them not to. But with overseeing the search for the vein, I barely have a chance to visit the privy at the moment, much less entertain younglings. Can you give them these ginger cookies and convince them to go home for me? Busy work. That's fine. Starveling child. I like playing with Weiston. We make sure no one bullies us. What does it say? Crumbling gingerbread cookie. Straight from good Weiston's pocket. Don't mind the lint. Weiston's worried about us. Oh, I don't want to make him worried. I'm a good girl, so I'll go home. Yay. Poof. I ain't going nowhere, mister. I'm too hungry to move. Besides, so you have to carry me. A cookie? Well, if Weiston really wants me to go home, then alright. But I want 2 next time. Weiston's kind to us. I like him. This is for me. I want to eat it, but then again I don't, because then it'll be gone. Tell Weiston thanks and tell him sorry for getting in the way. Weiston always plays with us. Why won't he come out and play? Oh, hand over. Huh, I didn't click on it. Ah, ginger cookie. I better save this for my brother. I know. I'll go home and eat it with him. Wow. It's a cool dude right there. He's starving and he's gonna go share what little food he has with his bro. He's probably already also starving. Thank you, adventurer. I only wish I could do more. Stone's Throw is no place for a child. Not that my childhood is much happier. Never enough food to go around, nor work to earn it. But no shortage of contempt from the great and the good. I remember thinking things could only get better, and now after the calamity and everything else, for us refugees to be forced to live outside the gates like bloody beastmen is a disgrace. I see with enough money you can change the laws here, so I'm going to make a fortune and do just that. I'll buy the excavation rights and start my own mining business. Then I'll give my fellow refugees the work they're crying out for and pay them fairly. Mining companies have profited from our suffering for too long, but in their hubris they've grown complacent, presenting us with a golden opportunity. And we will take it, adventurer. We will reclaim our dignity, and with it our place within those walls. We found her. We found the vein, Weston. You must come and see. Already? Amazing. We must leave at once. You should join me, my friend. Come and bear witness to the history in the making. Okay. How far is this? Just over there. Facility excavation site. A couple of fates around it. Most of the fates are unnecessary. They're just, again, busy work, but they are nice to get money, experience, and later when you get access to a grand company, you get company seals as well. Some fates, very few of them are required for certain things. We're not there yet, though. Hey, look. That's one of the fates right there, is this big dude, Spitfire. Not gonna worry about that. Let's take down this guy. Hunting logs. He helped himself, or tried to. The Spriggan Railroad. Alright. There we go. So now I got a couple of experience. A bunch of stuff. Level 10 Gladiator. That's probably what this. Yep. Oath gauge unlocked. Tells me whether I have my oath on, which. So this is Iron Will. This significantly increases enmity generation. There's a very few cases where I don't want that on. I'd rather really use that. Let me move that layout. Over here. Or just above here. There we go. Save. There are cases where I don't want that on, but as a tank I want that on as much as possible. Still don't have a shield, so I can't even shield bash. Oh, here we go. Another instance thing. These jerks. Falls balls, son. A vein of ore in the middle of a ruined bloody city. God's damned idiots. What do you think was going to happen? They'd strike it rich and get cozy with the order while the masses of Uldal looked on? No one crosses the syndicate. The syndicate? Ah, finally sunk in, has it? Well, look at this. Not all your friends have deserted you, it seems. Lucky boy. Now you won't have to die alone. Oh, someone's watching. O mournful voice of creation, grant you this humble stone of soul, that it may wake to life. Who's spouting that gibberish? Show yourself. This ain't part of the plan. Bloody hell, is this Lord Lorderito mean to kill us too? Stone Golem? I don't know what the name is. Play Golem. Yeah, they always start off super easy. You are strong. But are you strong enough to withstand this? See, if I had that, I could stun him and stop him from using his ability. Lane Cracker. Not in it, am I? Good. so sorely tested. But I'm trying. Done. Duty complete. No. We have our one ahead. That the golem can be vanquished. That man is no ordinary adventurer. His hat is stupid. I think that hat looks like one of the... I think it's the hat or the helm from like one of the original concept arts for the original Final Fantasy. If I remember correctly. Hey, Thancred. Damn, seems I missed all the fun. I see you didn't need my help this time. Dum, 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 dum. I could compose a ballad in your honor, but I fear no words would do you justice. The songstress of Loda herself could not rival your beauty. Oh, stop it, Tooth Christ. I have oft heard it said that a blossom's beauty can move a man to love and long, but I never truly believed it until I met you two desert roses. Oh, this guy in the background. There they attacked another caravan. My business is suffering for it, bloody Amalja. What stirred him up, do you think? Or do you reckon? Another raid. On the way to the caravan was carrying crystals, much like the last. If they truly mean to summon a primal, we must act quickly. Are you coming, love? You wouldn't keep a girl waiting, would you? Perish the thought. But tell me, where in this marvelous city might you lovely ladies be staying? Grain will soon be more precious than gold, a result of uncommonly bad harvests, to be sure. And we have you to thank for that, them, do we not? Aye, this weakening of the etheric flow must surely be linked to Dalamud's descent. And of course to the primals. Fine mess. We must not lose hope. Louis Swab will know what to do. I know how to pronounce that, so there you go. We need only trust in his judgment. Truly a marvel of Charlene ingenuity. It's as if I could reach out and touch the ether. Time to focus. No more gallivanting about like before. The Scions are counting on you. Have faith. Just have faith. You can do this. This disturbance is recent. The Sultan tree. Maybe Papashan will know something of it. I was in his head, in his memories. So I'm special. Oops. About to click back on. Looks like they give you quite a thrashing. Can you walk? Everyone's still alive. We just got beat up. It's me, I was too late. A person of interest had already quit the scene. The general? Very well. I shall be there anon. I like their archaic way of talking. It's actually kind of cool. My colleagues went to great lengths to provide me with the means to detect etheric disturbances, but every time I find one, you seem to be in the middle of it. I'm starting to wonder if it might not be simpler just to follow you around. Sadly, I have business elsewhere. I'm huge. Tread softly, my friend. The carefully laid trap you dismantled was clearly sanctioned by Lord Lolorito. I heard the Blades mention him as they fled. Believe me when I tell you that he is not a man to be trifled with. The Sultana's enemies grow bolder by the day, and I suspect they have support of outside forces. Thank you. If you hadn't come along, those bastards would surely have slaughtered us all. I would speak with you further, but it isn't safe for us to linger here. Find me at the coffer and coffin later. Until then, stay safe. I shall accompany Weiston and his men. They need protection, and I need more information. But where are my manners? I get to properly introduce myself. I am Thancred, a humble scholar surveying the flow of ether in Thanalan. It is an honor and a privilege to make your acquaintance. I hope when next we meet, it is under more auspicious circumstances. Farewell. Wait a moment. It occurred to me that we may have... Never mind. Fare thee well. Oh man. We get to play again? Alright, so I need to go speak to Weiston at right there, coffer and coffin. See, now I can do the level 10 gladiator quest as well. Definitely want to keep up on those. Like I said, they give you gear, experience, abilities, and the level 31 is essential because every class that gets to level 30, they actually get a soul crystal here to unlock even more abilities. Some classes start at level 30 or beyond, and those are the ones that were introduced with the expansions, like the Dark Knight and Gunbreaker, the Astrologian, Samurai, Machinist and Dancer, and the Red Mage and the Blue Mage. The Blue Mages, I have never done a Blue Mage. I'd even try. I think it's kind of a weird thing, I understand, but whatever. God bless you, my friend. You risked your life to save ours, betrayed by my own guards. Gods, I was a fool to trust those men. Lotorito owns the goddamn brass blades. I should have questioned the motives from the start. Even so, I could hardly have predicted the wealthiest man in Oda would want me dead for the heinous crime of seeking to change the law. I'm just a merchant, for God's sakes. That ruthless bastard. And what of that monstrosity? Those were his own men, a beggar's belief. Well, that's it. I'm finished. If I stay in Ul'dah any longer, I'm as good as dead. My associates, my friends, gods, even the children may not be safe if I don't disappear. And you, gods damn it, if Lolorito learns of your involvement, you'll be next. I'll speak with the others and make sure your part in this stays secret. Beyond that, I don't know what to suggest. Maybe you should seek the counsel of Mistress Momodi. She's helped countless adventures in her time. Mayhap she'll know what to do. Go quickly now, my friend. Lolorito's spies may be watching. Ah, my return is available. There we go. Taking a while to load. Settle down, Malchazar. You've got nothing to worry about. No one seems to know you are at the ruins. Wyson, on the other hand, is now a pariah. but about as welcome around here as a rabid wolf, poor bugger. Suffice to say, that boy risked the wrath of the wrong man. Lord Lulurita, chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company, generous contributor to the Order of Nalfal, and member of the Syndicate. Didn't get where he was by leaving those loose ends, that one. Which is why he ain't above killing his own men. Hells, even if the Blades knew what was coming, it's not like they could refuse to do their benefactor's bidding. Don't let this color your view of old Malkazar. It's true that there are some here who ain't afraid to crack a few skulls if it gets them what they want. But most of us are decent folk just trying to make ends meet. You know, a lot of people would call you a damn fool for risking your life to save a marked man. But I believe you did a good thing, Malkazar, and for that, you have my respect. Listen, you've been through a lot lately. Why don't you rest a spell? I'll have the boys at the Hourglass set you up a room, my treat. Just have a word of a topa potapa whenever you feel like staying. The Lullafell names are kind of silly, but whatever. And when you've got your appetite for adventuring back, consider taking in a guild leave or two. We have a lot of requests from locals looking to hire adventurers for various jobs. It'd be a good way for you to earn yourself some extra gold. That's what guild leaves are, just side quests essentially is what they are. And you can do so many of them per day. Eustace can tell you more about how the system works, so go and speak with him if you're interested. Yeah! Fist bump. You have access to recommendations. Oh. So whenever you're in a group and you finish it... What is this? It unlocks leaves. I don't care about that right now. I can, at the very end, I can recommend and be like, hey, you did a really good job, and I can send a recommendation. Hey, what's going on, man? Uh-oh, do I not have a... Apparently I didn't set up a chat box. It doesn't need to be that pretty. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Forgot to set up a chat box apparently. Font settings. Whatever. I'll leave that alone. I just need to find a place to put it. I'll put it up here, I guess. I may have to eventually have it where my games setting is limited and all this stuff is on the side. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way of stuff. Yeah, so this is my first actual scheduled stream. I actually am going to do this every Saturday night. I don't know if I'm going to keep going with this game. I'd like to, but let's do that. So I'm reading out everything for these story quests and then just go beating stuff up. Melody Quicksand is hard work for a willing adventure. Have you actually played the game before? Look what the coral dragged in. Hopefully that's how they pronounce it. Good to see you, Malkazar. I'd ask what brings you, but I reckon we both know the answer to that already. Well, have I ever let you down before? Wait, don't answer that. No, well, maybe you might see something you like. And I'm also recording this, so I can put this on YouTube. So happens I know a fellow by the name of Dadanan who needs a hand. He's a merchant by trade, selling precious stones to those that will die with the means to buy them. He's asked that I send any looking for work his way. You can find him over in Horizon if you fancy. That's in Western Thanaland, mind you. Excuse me. Just cross the bridge north of Scorpion Crossing and take the road. And the road will take you there. Knowing the circles he deals in, he'll have some talk with the royal family that will interest you. And why not make use of a chocobo porter for the journey horizon, if you have the guild for it, that is. You'll find the chocobo stables across the quicksand. Off you go. Okay. I'm actually going to go back to the Gladiators Guild. I don't want to go that way. No. Because I do have a quest that I can do for them. Still need a shield. I don't have a shield. I'm a sword and shield user. Where's my shield? Maybe I get it from this quest. Have you played any MMOs before? Oh, I need to definitely mess with that. Kinda. Yeah, MMOs. I do enjoy MMOs. Not all of them are good, but this one and WoW are my two favorites. First Sword Mila requires your immediate assistance with a dangerous matter. Yes, I do get a shield from this finally. Heck yeah. You look well, Malkazar. I hope you're ready for your next task because I require your immediate assistance. Oh, cool, man. Well, I started a brand new character. I have one that's already like in the 70s. That's just before the current final expansion, Shadowbringer. I haven't done any of that yet. But if I'm starting the stream, I might as well start from scratch, which is fine. There have been several violent murders recently, the victims of which were all Hyeran men. Humans. Based on the multiple spear wounds found in the bodies of the deceased, we believe the Lancers are responsible for the crimes. Not only are these... Look at these chocobos. Our chocobos are dancing. Not only are these murders a blight upon our city, I fear it is only a matter of time before one of our own is targeted. I've just received reports of foreign Lancers skulking about in Stone's Throw. Considering the circumstances, I find it likely that these are our culprits. We cannot abide any more murders. Go to Stone's Throw, outside the gate of Nald, and speak with any you find in the area. With luck, you may find these Lancers before they strike again. I definitely want to do this first before I do the story, the main story. Excuse me, because I want that shield. I can actually use Shield Bash and stun people. Stun's very nice against people that are affected by it. Most bosses aren't affected by stun, but some of them are. It's mainly against other enemies. Perfect. Okay. My arm's out like I have a shield on it, but I don't. Yep. Yep. Gutless Gladiator. Don't give me please, I'm not the one you want. Thank you. They appeared out of nowhere asking me if I was Aldous at Spear Point. I said no, but they attacked me anyway. What did I do to deserve this? Go back already? That was quick. Aww. Well, which one is gonna pop out now? Baby Behemoth. Why not? They actually, they had a Final Fantasy XIV and Monster Hunter crossover a while back. I don't know, it's been quite a while. In Final Fantasy XIV, they brought a Rathalos in as an encounter. It's actually pretty rough if you don't know what you're doing. And in Monster Hunter, they brought a Behemoth over as an encounter as well. So you can actually fight a Behemoth in Monster Hunter. It's actually pretty cool. But that's, again, just like the other one is pretty tough. I kind of like it because they added like the enmity systems, kind of. They took one of the mechanics for this and put it in that, and they took some of the mechanics from Monster Hunter and put it in here. Makes it pretty interesting, I think. I like when they kind of like do some experimental stuff with that. Like in the Rathalos fight in this game, you healers aren't able to actually heal, and people aren't able to heal themselves. You get like the potions from Monster Hunter. Those are the things that heal you. So, they were indeed the murderers we sought. But what brought Duskwight all the way from the Black Shroud? The Black Shroud is where the city of Gridania is. That's like the Elven city. That's the nature one. And why were they murdering Hyuran men with swords? First sword. What is it? Lancer's first sword. A gang of them hiding in the tunnel south of Blackbrush Station. Seems you were not rid of them yet. Alcazar, you might as well finish what you started. Go to Central Thanalan and dispatch the last of these freelancers. Bryce accompany Alcazar so that he doesn't die. I can't keep the blood from getting skewered, but I'll patch him up best I can. Alcazar, defend Bruce. He knows powerful healing magics, but he cannot employ them unless you keep all your enemies occupied. Be the tank. Make sure you command their full attention at all times. Give me a shield and I'll do a better job. I am counting on you to keep those bastards away from me. Watch my back. Watch me back and I'll watch yours. You have your orders, gladiators. Send these freelancers to the 7th gate. Okay. Oh, wrong way. Hang on a second. There we go. Where is it? Central Thanalan. I could just teleport to Black. That's what I'm going to do. 176. No, I don't have that much. I only have 500. It's still really early in the game. I'm just going to walk. Later in the game, when you have like hundreds of thousands, it's like, yeah, it's fine. Or millions if you're good at playing the market. Momentum. Nice name. Oh, Thaumaturge. Say, how you been, man? You know what? I need to mess with this chat box for a second. It's kind of... I'm going to set it up how it's not using that widget. It's kind of in the way. I like the way it was before I got the widgets. Well, I don't see a way to remove that, at least not easily. So I'll just leave that for now. Hopefully I can resize it though. Oh well. I'll have to figure it out another time. Isn't that same cave we went into before? Yeah. Bruce the Big. Ready to punch people. Another instance. Come on, Bruce. Yeah, so now they're all on me. Let me look at that thing on the left. When they have a purple name, that means somebody else hit them first, usually not in your party. So it's kind of weird that it's here, but whatever. And a lot of these symbols I don't understand myself. Oh, they slowed me. You can see that. It's gonna take longer to do 3 seconds as opposed to 2.5 seconds to use my abilities. Dang. Bastards are actually making me break a sweat. Yeah? I'm gonna move this over here so we can see where I'm going. There we go. Alright. I like having that within an eyesight. Right there, boom. Right now, Bruce can go so far over for it. Bruce, oh, Bruce. There we go, buddy. Not critical hit. Or direct hit, as they call it. In this game. Finished? Yeah. Duty complete. Oop. Looks like we're done here. Let's head home, Alcazar. I could use a drink. Can you teleport me? Let's just return. Let's go get my gear. One little upgrade at a time. That's how the games work. But if you don't get the upgrades, then you are falling behind. Music's so quiet. I don't even know if the stream's picking it up. Congratulations on a job well done, Malcazar. Bruce says you acquitted yourself well. You have shown tremendous growth since you joined us, and though it pains me to do this, you've earned the right. I'll grant you the leave to join other guilds. So now once you get past this one, now you can learn other jobs if you want. As you doubtless know, Ul'dah is home to both the Pugilist Guild and the Thaumaturgist Guild. However, there are also guilds where you may learn something of more peaceful traditions. You may even join the guilds of other nations, if that is your desire. Know that I respect your decisions, whatever they may be, as long as you do not forget that you are above all a gladiator. Before you head off, I want to ask you, Bruce believes the freelancers are out for a bounty. What is your opinion on this? You're tracking a man named Aldous. Aldous? Are you certain that was the name you heard? He's alive, but how? Yes! Okay, so leather jacket is worse. Ooh, I get a better hat. What is the biggest upgrade for me? I'm level 11. I think they're all pretty good upgrades for me. The hat's 3, 2, 1. The hat would be the biggest upgrade for me, though. See, now that special hat is no longer good for me because it has to be level 10 or below. Look at that, upgrade 3 things, bam. So now I have a shield, gear sets. Those are good, like if you have multiple classes, you can switch between them like with a button. Not gonna worry about that right now. Sweet, now I actually look like a freaking tank. I have me a shield, and I have me an Aztec weapon. I think it's Aztec. Makwati, or whatever, how I pronounce it. I'm bad at that. Horizon. Horizon, they said Western Thanalan, right? Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna walk. I'm not gonna use the chocobo system. What's up, chocobos? I want a chocobo. But I think you have to be level 20 and choose a grand company. So the way those work, so there's free companies are essentially the guilds of this game. Those are the player created and player driven groups. You can have hundreds of people in them. They have their own special chats. They can have their own houses. And housing in this game itself is another glamour, where you spend a lot of money and time putting it together. The nice thing about guilds, though, is that you can just hang out with like-minded people. Hopefully, sometimes you get jerks. But again, in this game, they're called free companies. Now, the grand companies, there's one per city. And then once you pick one, you get access to the mount system, which is slightly faster than your walking speed. But it's fast enough that if you're going a good distance, then it's worth actually using a mount. Now with the grand companies, you have something else to work on. You can get company, I can't think of the name. I said it earlier, I'm getting tired. Company seals, that's what it is. And you can raise rank up to, I think, first lieutenant is the highest they have available right now. But for some reason, that's the first they've had for a long time. They never raised it. But you also get access to their gear and their looks for glamour. If I ever really wanted to worry about it, I did prefer the Maelstrom, which is the ones from Limbs and Laminza, because they're red and black, and I do enjoy that color. The other ones are like green and yellow or something. It's just weird. Alcazar, I presume. I'm Amodi said to expect you, and so I have. Welcome to Horizon. We'll be coming to Horizon a lot, by the way. Ours is a trading settlement that sees goods in from the port of Vesper Bay to the west, and trade we do. Nary a day goes by that Horizon isn't bustling with some manner of merchants and officials. They keep us running about busy, they do. Enough so that I wish I had chocobo legs in place of my own. And that's why I've asked Momodi to send me any soul looking for work. 12 know there's plenty of it to be done around here. Speak to me again when you're ready to make yourself of some use. How about I don't speak to you again? What now? Oh, look at that. Better pants already. Hempen trousers. Hempen trousers are better than hempen sombrero. There's this. So this is the exclamation point for the chocobo keep. You touch them once, it accesses their porter, and you have like, it takes 1 minute and 5 gil. It's a lot cheaper than teleporting, you know. That's all it's for. Let me get the Aetherite real quick, and then I'll grab the other quest. So now I can teleport here. I can even set it as my home location. Which I will do. Now, favorite destination makes it cheaper, I believe, to teleport to. So, if you're going to be going to a place a lot, you can do that. What? Better feet too. Okay. Dodana would like you to deliver a message to Copperville Mines. It so happens that I have a situation that must be resolved post-haste, and I do mean post-haste. I am plumb out of premium product, and my lightest order has yet to arrive. If I keep my customers waiting any longer, this could irrevocably damage my reputation. What's worse, I paid my man in advance for his services. Despite his assurances that it would be a simple affair, I've heard nothing since he departed for Copperville Mines days ago. Lion, Jump, and Stagger give him this notice. I cannot afford any further delay. Or any delay, or whatever he said. Copperville Mines, I think, is the first dungeon. No, it's not. It is a dungeon. Copperville Mines hard mode is a lot of fun, too. They're all fun, but after a while, you know, you get access to, once you get enough dungeons, you get access to what they call a roulette, which is where you choose that and it randomly picks a dungeon for you out of the list of the ones you've unlocked. And if you do that once per day, it gives you a huge boost to experience for whatever class you went in with or ended with. I think you can't change in the middle. What do you want? Get down this product. This is your final notice. He can send all the notices he likes, but that won't change a thing. The concern is closed the mines due to some incident of the deaths. It's a goddamn shame too. Lost a decent haul just over yonder during all the chaos. Thank you for the jack boots. And I got a level out of that. Ooh, what'd I get? Low blow. I think that's my interrupt. Oh, it's another stun. Put that over the other stun. This one actually does damage. And it does not have a cooldown. This one has a cooldown. I need you to retrieve the rod he drops outside the mines. The Tashite or whatever it is. The product you heard Danadan going on about is a valuable gemstone known as raw Nashachite. Nashachite. I managed to dig the goodly amount just before the mines were closed off, actually. Packed it up and hauled it out even, but then them 12 damned goblins came by. Not like any goblins I've seen before, and hungry one for good rocks. They had eyes for red gemstones, so I had no choice but to oblige. The stone torches had their hands full evacuating the mine, so they ignored the beasts. Even now, they're only concerned with keeping people out. Please, friend, if you're willing to face the goblins, would you bring me my stuff? I'm not able to pronounce it anymore. So, search for the raw stuff. Bombs. Classic. That purple means they spawn. Stun. 6 seconds. Now that has diminishing returns, so a lot of people get the ability to stun. Or everyone gets the ability to stun, I believe, in different ways. But you can't keep stunning an enemy forever. The first time is 6 seconds, I think the second time is like 3, and then it's 1, and then it doesn't work anymore. I think we're getting close to our first dungeon. But I don't think this is the first dungeon either. Okay. I'll turn the stuff in here. Bombs have been around for a long time. What they do is, after a certain amount of time, they will explode. And you either have to get out of their radius in this game or kill them before they explode. Yeah, see detonator? Done. In other games, they just explode and you have to try to just survive it. This one, you can actually move out of their way. How did you fare, friend? Did you find the raw stuff? What does it say? Extremely rare variety of malachite that gets its name from a deep green color. The same color as former Uldan Sultana Nanasha ul Nasha's eyes. Oh, that's why it's called that way. Nashachite, that's how it's pronounced. Okay. And over. Go. Beautiful, isn't it? Rarer than many stones and more expensive than most. They say green is the same as the eyes of Nanasha ul Nasha, who once ruled as the Sultana. This should save Danadan from his troubles, if there's any left, if there's enough left. There's far less here than what I found. I reckon those goblins made a meal of this stuff. Bloody waste. I already have that salad, so I'll take that. Which is repair kindness with some useful information. You'd like a chance to make some money, right? Then I know just how I can repay your kindness. Swarms of sun midges have been harassing travelers along the road connecting to Horizon to here. It's gotten so bad the brass blades have started paying folks to keep the roads clear. If you find it hard to believe that swarms of tiny midges can be so troublesome, then you've never seen a chocobo driven into a frenzy by one. There have already been some terrible accidents. Do your part and slay a few swarms. After that, let Fufulupa know. They'll reward you for your trouble, and even offer you more work. So I need to take down swarms of bugs with my sword. Perfect sense. Oh. It's a level 50 dude. That one I can stand in as long as I'm not looking at it. They dodged it. When they have a... Here, I'll pick another one in here in a second and show you. Yeah, so when they have the little blue alien face next to their name, they are neutral and they will not attack you unless you attack them first. If they have the yellow alien head and the 3 red triangles, they will. Hey, look. I'm gonna take down... I need these anyway. Might as well participate in this fate. Alright, so he's gonna do an AoE, and if you look at it... Oh, never mind, someone's just gonna wreck him. Oh, I guess. Thanks for the help, I guess. And in basic MMO fare, a lot of these have quotes or clever names. This one's called Dog Eat Dog. That's the name of this. There's the perfect swarm as opposed to the perfect storm. Alright, let's finish this off and then I can do what I need to do. There's one. I don't have my shield throw yet, so I can't just pick him out of the group. Try not to get the desert pasty too. Oh well. Oh, so that one's just a body sim. That one I have to get out of. Okay, complete. I got a gold. Give me another body sim. I don't care. I didn't have the combo. I missed with my first attack. Smoke flying. Apparently they unlocked flying out in the what's it called? The whole thing too. In the original game, they didn't used to have flying. You can only fly in the expansions, but I guess they unlocked that. I think they were about to unlock it a little before I stopped playing a while ago. Okay, so that should be it. Yes. Sprint in. Now this game is a little bit different than other MMOs. In other MMOs, the story is optional. You can pay attention to it or not. Once you get to the correct level, then you can move on to the expansion and just start that and just go right into it. This game is not that way. Level 50 is the maximum level you need to be in order to finish the main story that they came out with years ago. And then while they were working on the first expansion and every expansion in between since then, they come out with like every month or two, they come out with a patch that adds 10 or so quests for you to do for the main story, and it keeps adding and adding and adding. So by the time the first expansion came out, Heavensward, they had another like 100 plus quests for you to do between the end of level 50 until the start of the actual first expansion. You can't skip it. I heard that recently they updated it so they removed some of the junk, but there's still a lot in there that's important, so they couldn't do that. But they still do that. So even between Heavensward and the second expansion, Stormblood, they have, again, after the end of Heavensward, it took them a year or two for them to come out with the expansion, so they had to give people something to do. So they would come out with chunks of content at a time, and once you finish Heavensward, in order to move into Stormblood, you needed to do all the interim quests as well. So honestly, by the first time I got to Heavensward, I was actually level 57 because there were so many quests you needed to do. Because I didn't start playing this until I think Storm voted out, so I didn't have to set a level cap and wait. I didn't read the first one. You have my sincerest. Can I skip out of it? No. You have my sincerest thanks. The Brass Blade's been struggling to keep them in check, so your assistance is greatly appreciated. Will you be seeing your horizon long? If so, there's much more you can help here. Thank you for the bronze pieces. If you want to track down a missing courier. Or you allow me to enlist your aid, brave adventurer. I would have you ascertain the whereabouts of a missive I sent to Lost Hope the other day. Captain Leofric is stationed there, and ever since he was transferred, we've exchanged letters, but never before has it taken this long to receive a reply. So I fear that the courier may have met with a misfortune. Some misfortune on the en route. She must have made it to Central Thanalan, where the Brass Blades that patrol the road between here and Scrubber Crossing would have seen something. But if she made it as far as Blackbrush Station, she would have surely delivered the letter by now. Lost Hope was practically on its doorstep. As it as you focus your search on the road to Blackbrush Station in Central Thanalan, with luck you will find her quickly. Head south, go through that gate there. Okay. Oh, someone's just doing fates. And you could literally just run around and do as many fates as you want. Just farm it up. That's another MMO term, is farming, so the fate's done. But similar to how farmers actually do it in real life, and they do the same thing every day, over and over and over, in order to reap and sell and get money. They took that term and they use it when they talk about video games as well. So to farm in a video game would be like, I'm looking for something really rare. I dropped off this guy, so I'm going to farm it until it drops. It may take 100, it may take 1,000, it may take one. It was just a chance. Another term for that same thing is grinding. Oh, someone's flying over there. So. Up next zone. Pew pew. More earth sprites. I think they're all in the next section. They usually have them specific. Usually. Sometimes they don't. Or at least when you're looking at Hunter's Log, they tell you at least the main location or where they're located at. A letter? I've got food for the specific right here. I won't be delivering anytime soon though. Gotta tend to my bird's injured leg first. Even the most minor of cuts can fester if ignored. We believe it's ain't right, but this is a pressing matter. Why don't you take it the rest of the way? Also just past Blackbrush Station to the northeast for Tense by the River. Looking out for more of those earth elementals. Some non-aggressive hammerbeaks all around. Heck yeah. I don't know if that affects the sound when I do that, but when I click out to check anything, the sound of my game stops. And it starts skipping. While I'm here, I'm gonna do this. Because I need some of these for my hunting log as well. What do I need? What do I need? I don't need workers. I don't need sentries. What do I need? See that symbol, I'll be happy because I'm like, I don't remember where they are. Really? Well, what is it I need? Soldiers. I don't need workers, I don't need sentries, I need soldiers. Are they rare? Are they hard to find? Maybe they're further back? Look at that face. There's a dude in there. Oh, I don't see any soldiers. I see a lot of sentries and workers, but no soldiers. Well, that sucks. That was a waste of time. Maybe they're not there. Maybe they're somewhere else. Where did it say they were? The clutch. Oh, that's over here. I'm in the wrong spot anyway. Silly me. Tricks are for kids. Cacti are very interesting. Why do they have little spikes on the top? I guess the reason is because... Hey, an Amaltra. Can I not... Oh. Do that eventually. That's one I'll definitely do though. There's a mission where you can... Or not a mission, a quest that's very nice so you can actually make yourself stronger. That's passing through or you will be staying a while. Here is the missive. Philip sent you all this way because of a late letter. The boy is still far too earnest. Despite my demotion, he continues to call me captain. I suspect he has no idea what it means to be transferred to Lost Hope either. Brass blades don't give a Keykerns arse about my settlement. No one ever allowed those. All here have been forsaken adventuring. The refugees, their protectors, and you'll be too if you've seen associating with us. Now, thank you for the letter. Now, for your own good, leave. Alright, you need my experience, kaboom. Nice. There's a request for adventure looking to do some good. I thought I'd have told you to get out of here. But looking for a chance to do some good? I guess I can't force you to leave. Damn stubborn adventurers, the lot of you. Fine then, listen well. The band of outlaws has taken up residence at the Caveran Manse in the ridge to the south. Their leader has styled himself heir to Aelane Caveran, the syndicate member who died in the calamity. The Baron and his cronies are not more than a pack of jackals. They prey on the people of Lost Hope, robbing them of what little they have. I myself cannot act without endangering the refugees, as they know my face and will retaliate against Lost Hope. You, however, are not known to the bandits or their allies. If you wish to help us, then deal with the Baron. Right. No. That's what I said. Let's see if we can find those ants. Antling soldiers. There's a couple big ones right there. That's what I need. Where do I get my next ability? Throw my shield. Level 15. Okay. Shield lob. I'll get a 6 second stun. See if he gets up. And again. 3 second stun, yeah, so it does have diminishing returns. I'm probably looking to find more soldiers along the way, but these are ones right here, so I'm not looking for that. Sunbat. Oh, I'll fight you too. Oh. Acid spray, gross. this way? I may not. You know, I'm just gonna ignore you. You're in a leash. Yeah, when you fight enemies like this, they don't follow you forever. That'd be kind of cheap. The only time that they will not they don't have like a range that they'll follow you is inside of a dungeon. So in MMOs it's called a leash, or sometimes some people call it chaining, which I don't understand. Leashing makes more sense. It's like they can only go so far. Oh look, an archer is poking at things. Look at him shoot those. I think he'd want to get away from me. It still does damage, just not a whole lot. It does less damage than my regular. Alright, so that purple little really. You know, if I'm gonna figure out pick a view too here. Oh, there are two archers. Dang it. Seconds still of less damage. Oh, I got potions. Alright, well, I got those. That's fine. If I'm in combat and I need a quick heal, potions are the way to do it. Yep. Cool. Alright, so I'm gonna hang on a second because your health regenerates really fast outside of combat. Look at it go. Oh, I have a... Oh, a dot on me. So... keeping with the damage over time... the damage per second, sorry. Information I gave earlier. There's something also called a dot. It's usually something can be like a bleed or a poison you can put on somebody. A dot is a damage over time ability. So you use it on them. They have it stuck on them for whatever the time is, and the health slowly ticks down. Conversely, healers have heal over time spells where they can throw it on you, and for like whatever the time is, you'll get ticked. Every few seconds you'll get a little bit of health back. That's called a heal over time, also known as a hot. So dots and hots, more dots, more dots. That's an old school meme right there. More dots. Okay, stop dots. Alright, it's almost time for me to end this stream here, but we have a few more minutes. Soda's done? Good. I hope that wretch died screaming. Ul'dah is more prosperous than ever, some say. It may be true for the Syndicate, but none of that wealth has trickled down to the small folk. That sounds familiar. It's all a mummer's farce. One day I refused to play my part, and so I was made to leave the stage. My time has passed. The brass blades of the rose must look to others for my guidance. Thank you for that. Thank you. Upgrade my gear. Oh, that's a gear set. I don't want to hit that. Wrong button. Yoink. Nice. Ooh, a belt finally. Leofric would like to deliver an item to Horizon. As you may have noticed, I'm in no shape to leave Lost Hope right now, so in my stead, I'd like you to return to Horizon and give this dagger to Fukalupa. Although it's an old ornamental dagger, it belongs to the brass blades of the rose. I should have given it to the boy before I came here. Okay, well, we're gonna walk, because I need to hit one of those earth sprites along the... Come on. Those earth sprites along the way. Let me finish up the stream here, but that's fine. I think I got pretty far, level 13, maybe level 14 by the time it's all done. I'll, yeah, because I'm doing 8:30 to midnight, it's almost midnight. Not even paying attention. Clicking on things I don't want me to be clicking on. Where am I going? All the way down there. Okay. Can't wait till I get my first dungeon. It's not gonna happen tonight though. Maybe next stream. Next scheduled stream, I must say. Bosch von Rotzenberg. Huh. That's not clever at all. That's from Final Fantasy XII. Are you from Dalmasca? They do have references to other games in this one. Like, there's some bosses that are from Final Fantasy VI. Like, you fight Kefka. You go through Rabanastre, which is one of the main cities in Final Fantasy XII. You can get Cloud's motorcycle. I do have his stuff for glamour if I wanted to. Like if I look at my hand slot. Yeah, the Strife gloves. And the Strife vest. They have the Leonhardt one too, so that's Leon's stuff from Final Fantasy VIII. So there's Gilgamesh, I think he's from Final Fantasy V. He's actually, you fight him a bunch of times. There's Ultros, who is from Final Fantasy VI. There's just a lot of cool stuff if you want to see some, you know, a little bit of nostalgia. I know I haven't even beaten every Final Fantasy either. I've beaten most of them. I beat 1 and 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 I didn't finish. I got close to the end and it annoyed me because I wanted to go back and do all the side stuff, but I already passed the point of no return. 9 I didn't get very far in. 10 I finished a few times. 11 is another MMO I never played. 12 I finished. 13 I finished. Hang on a second. Let's try that again. Read it this time. Alcazar, I received word from Captain Leofric the other day. Thank you for delivering the letter for me. Why do you have the dagger? Only Captain of the Brass Blades, the Rose of permitted to possess this. Captain Leofric says I'm to have it? There must be some mistake. You couldn't possibly tell me that. No, of course not. I am not worthy to wield it. Nevertheless, I shall respect the Captain's wishes and take the dagger into safekeeping until he comes to reclaim it. I'm gonna get my belt. Heck yeah, I'm level 14. Now I have a belt. Look at that. It didn't even show up. Let's grab this quest. Following footfalls. Needs you to assist his fellow brass blades. Hey, a much better shield. Has less block rate, but the block strength is much higher. Brass blades of the Rose have in need of your assistance once more, Alcazar. Thaumaturges from the ossuary are presently surveying the footfalls for ancient relics. As the area is rife with wild beasts, the Horizon garrison has been charged with their security. But Captain Baldwin sent only a handful of brass blades. Despite his assurances to the contrary, such a small unit cannot possibly be sufficient to protect our patrons. I would have you offer your assistance to my comrades. Pray travel to the footfalls and speak on tongue to ruler. Okay. Well, I think that's a good spot to end it for this stream. I am in a sanctuary. I'm getting that rested experience, so next time we play, I'll have a nice big chunk of it, which gives me actually 50% experience. While that lasts, I think it does have a max though. I think it's like a level and a half. I'm not 100% sure though. I don't think there's anything else I can do. No, that's pretty good. Oh, formic acid, and it's the high quality stuff too. That when it's shiny like that, or like this one, that it has a symbol next to the name, to me it's the high quality version. That's use to make high quality things when you're crafting. You can make high quality things without it, but it's much harder to do. So when you're trying to craft a specific item, it may actually be difficult to do if you don't have high quality. Anyway, that is it for this evening. Thank you anyone who is watching for watching. If you like what you see, well, please send me a follow. And I will catch you guys next time.